watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium in Grand Prairie, Texas. This is a Central Division matchup between the Chicago Kingsmen and the home team Dallas Xforia Giants. This is actually a rescheduled match from one of the matches that was rained out this past weekend. So, in the middle of a Wednesday afternoon, here we are watching some day-night cricket. Brian Walters here with you. And I don't know if you've ever been to the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. If you have not, please do whatever you need to do to get down to this absolutely brilliant facility. It is a proper cricket ground. Groundsman David Agnew and his team have done an amazing job getting this place the way that it is. And again, both those of you who follow along know that this was the location for the majority of the Major League Cricket matches that were played in July of this year, the inaugural tournament. And once again, this is the Chicago Kingsmen and the Dallas Xforia Giants. The Dallas Xforia Giants, Captain Harmeet Singh, won the toss, and under relatively pleasant conditions. Pleasant is relative, of course. It's still maybe 98 or so degrees Fahrenheit. But under these conditions, he decided to have a bowl. I think he'll be preferring to bat later in the evening. A look at the pitch. The pitch is absolutely spectacular. David Agnew, as I mentioned, has done a fantastic job with the way that everything has played itself out. Walking across the ground is almost like walking on carpet. The pitch is very hard, but has a very significant amount of grass on top of it, probably a couple of millimeters worth. And it's going to be, I think, not only good enough. If you can apply yourself as a batter, you'll be able to score runs freely. The ball will come onto the bat. If you're a bowler and bend your back, you'll get out of it what you want to put into it. So it's going to be an interesting day. And again, the Dallas Xforia Giants winning the toss and choosing to have a bat. My apologies, choosing to have a bowl. The openers for the Chicago Kingsmen are going to be Kevin Phillip, the young U19 phenom. He's the opening batter. He's also the wicket keeper. And joining him in his opening partnership is going to be Tajinder Singh. And in the meantime, opening the bowling for the Dallas Xforia Giants is going to be Jaskaran Singh Buttar. Umpires for the day are Partha Patanaik, who's currently standing at the racecourse end, which is the northern end of the ground. He's standing at square leg. And at the theater end of the ground, the southern end, it's going to be Samir Bandekar. So really high stakes match. I think we'll go over the standings in just a little bit to say who is where and who needs to do what. But for right now, settle down and watch Jaskaran Singh Buttar, who will be coming in to bowl. First delivery to Kevin Phillip. Right arm over the wicket. And we're regulation 7 to make that 6-3 field. There is going to be, within the power play overs, you can only have 2 people outside of the circle. I'll describe those in a minute as Jaskaran Singh Buttar comes in to bowl the first delivery to Kevin Phillip down the leg side. And immediately signaled wide by umpire Bandekar. So the very first run of the afternoon or of the evening is a wide down the leg side. So I mentioned 2 fielders allowed outside the circle inside the power play overs. Those are the overs, the first 6 overs of the innings. In other words, the first 36 legal balls. You can only have 2 fielders outside of the circle. And it's maybe a little bit difficult for you to see the circle. It's 30 yards, and you may just see right there on your screen some white dots going around. That denotes the 30-yard circle. And within that first 36 balls, first 6 overs, you can only have 2 fielders outside of that circle. Two fielders are outside are at regulation conditions or regulation positions given the opening pace bowler. Most pace bowlers will have something similar to what you have here. There's a man at deep fine leg and a man at deep third. Those are the two outside. Jaskaran Singh Buttar, right arm fast bowler. And Kevin Phillip going to be looking to stamp his authority on the proceedings. Oh, no ball called. And hear the loud sound echo in the stadium. You hear the very loud sound by umpire Samir Bandekar. And Jaskaran Singh Buttar committing the cardinal error of overstepping that popping crease. If you overstep that popping crease here we see on the replay, oh yeah, there we go. The plant foot was certainly over the line. You are allowed to step on the line, but some part of your foot needs to come down behind the line. That was good work there by the SC Tech and Productions team. You could see easily that front foot went over. So this next delivery, not only does it cost 1 run, but the very next delivery is a free hit. Anything that comes off of this, for the most part, the batter cannot be out. So here's a free hit delivery. Slower delivery, but it gets out of control down the leg side, so it goes as another run, and it is still a free hit. So just struggling to find the radar at the moment is Jaskaran Singh Buttar. 2 down the leg side and then overstepped on 1. So just 1 legal delivery out of 4 bowled already. And a little bit of scrambling around in the field. Now, if there is a no ball, you cannot change the field in terms of where the fielders are, but you can switch fielders as long as each of them goes back to the specific position for the person that they're replacing. In other words, you are allowed to change the field if they're in the same position. If they're not in the same position, I'll explain what I mean by that in just a second. Here's another free hit, looking for the big drive and a miss, and missing out there. And so I may have missed that because the fact that they went, it was a no ball, but it turns out that with the wide down the leg side, they actually ran a run. So there was an additional run taken, which is why they were able to switch the field around. So we'll get back to that in just a second. But in the meantime, Jaskaran Singh Buttar is going to have to find the right line and the right length, and he has to be careful to not overstep because just a little bit of trouble finding that radar. 4 runs already on the board, and we're going to need to have that corrected if we're the Dallas Xforia Giants. Short, and another no ball. My goodness. So this is now starting to be a bit of an issue. Captain Harmeet Singh will not like the fact that all of these extra runs are being scored. And in the second over, we are still without more than just 1, in fact, just 2 legal deliveries. Still 4 to come. Bigger problem here, though, is that Jaskaran Singh Buttar has yet overstepped another time, and this will also be another free hit. So expect Tajinder Singh is on strike. He's a tremendous striker of the cricket ball, and I'm expecting for him to throw the kitchen sink at this ball, or at this ball with all his might. A bit of a rugged start here for the Xforia Giants. Jaskaran Singh Buttar needs to have that line and length right. Short, and another no ball, if you can believe it. In fact, had that not been adjudged no ball, it would have been adjudged a wide, both on line in terms of how far behind the batter it was, and on height because it bounced over the top of Tajinder Singh's head. So a bit of a shocker here to start. Here we see on the replay again, very close, in fact, stepping again over. You can see that plant foot coming down, but some part of that foot has to come down behind the line. You can overstep the line as far as some part of your foot being over the line, but some part of your foot has to be behind it. And that's what Jaskaran Singh Buttar is struggling with at the moment. Next delivery, lofted in the air. It's not going to be, it's just a single. Obviously, nobody really trying to catch that because it was a free hit. And to the extent that on a free hit you cannot be out. In fact, you can be out, but a number of ways, none of which would have happened on that occasion. Just for information, you can be out of a free hit, but it's only the types of dismissals where the bowler does not get credit for the wicket. So in other words, you can be run out. The bowler doesn't get credit for you being run out, but at the same time, the traditional means of being out, caught, bowled, stumped, those are all negated by the fact that it's a free hit. So Jaskaran Singh Buttar still has some work to do here. Good ball. That's what he's trying to do. That looking at that ball exactly in the right spot on that off stump line and leaving Kevin Phillip. And 2 balls remaining in this extended first over. Having a little bit of trouble with the scorecard, but to the best of our knowledge, the score is 4, or at least the scorecard says 4. Unofficially, I have a little bit more than that, but we'll go for that, or with that at the time being. So Jaskaran Singh Buttar again, 2 balls remaining, 2 legal deliveries left. He's already bowled more than an over, but several of those have been extras. Oh, edge the 10, go straight to first slip and put down. If you have a bowler who is struggling to find the right line and length, who's firing it down the leg side, who's bowling no balls, when he finally gets the perfect delivery, nipping away straight to first slip, you're going to want to take that catch. That is Ramiz Raja, who is an excellent cricketer. He sometimes, in fact, probably half the game sees the wicket keeper, so he's accustomed to being behind the stumps to see the ball coming, but this one was right on target and he missed it. To his left, and really catchable height, chest height, and I'll tell you 9 times out of 10 Ramiz Raja will take that. So it certainly is a drop and a life given to Kevin Phillip in this early part of the game. And this is punched to mid-off. Quick throw at the non-striker's end. A very eventful over comes to an end. Unofficially, our score is going to be 7. And we'll confirm the exact score as soon as we come back from this quick break. 1 over done, 19 to go. We'll be right back.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Okay, so we've worked out a few difficulties, and at the score that you see at the bottom of your screen is correct. The score is 8 without loss. 8 runs from a very frenetic first over. Jaskaran Singh Buttar can bowl much better than that. This is going to be slapped through the offside. The first delivery bowled here by Prasad Patil is a little too full and a little too wide. The left arm spinner into the attack, and that first ball is drilled through the offside for the first boundary of the day. So once again, we're inside the power play. So bringing a spinner on inside the power play always carries that additional risk because you're only allowed 2 fielders outside. So with the slower bowler in operation, you have to be really bang on target with your deliveries. The 2 in the deep are at long off and at square leg. So you're going to have to be much better than that first delivery. This next one squirted off the outside edge and goes through just to backward point for no run. So Kevin Phillip, opening batter, 5 from 7. Tajinder Singh, 1 from 4. And again, a bit of a difficult over, first over ball by Jaskaran Singh Buttar. But looking to come back here are the Xforia Giants. Oh, what a great delivery. That is what he's trying to do. As a left-arm spinner, bowling around the wicket, slanting it into the right-hander, pitches and leaves him, and through to Smith Patel behind the stumps, who effected a quick stumping. Luckily for Kevin Phillip, that back foot was still grounded behind the crease. But that's more the length and the line that you're looking for as a left-arm spinner bowling inside the power play. So once again, only 2 fielders allowed outside, and those 2 fielders, as this ball is slapped to Akhilesh Bodagam at mid-on. 2 fielders outside are deep mid-wicket and long off. So here in the Central Division, the Kingsmen are the class of the division. They are 4 up and 1 down, so they have 10 points. They're at the top of the table here in the Central Division. The Dallas Xforia Giants, this is their first year in the minor league system. Debuting, they're 2 up and 2 down, 2 wins and 2 losses, 5 points on the board with 1 no result. And so what you have here is the Kingsmen, who are at the top of the table against the number 6 team. So the expectation is that the Kingsmen would be the favored side, but Dallas is playing at home, and they have that home pride. Another good ball spinning past the outside edge. He's really found a better line and length here in the last couple of deliveries. And just 1 ball remaining here in the second over. Much less frenetic over than the first one. Clipped around the corner, going for a quick single. Oh, kind of late getting off the mark there. Was a fielder short. Fine leg, that was Ajay Masand. And not able to prevent that single. So they run a single, a less frenetic over here. The second over only goes for 6 runs. After 2, the score is 14 without loss.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
14 without loss after 2. Jaskaran Singh Buttar back with the ball in hand. Captain Harmeet Singh showing confidence in his young pacer, knowing that he can bowl a better over than that first one that he bowled with a number of wides and no balls. But after having gotten out of that over with only 8 runs, that's actually not a bad economy rate given the way that he bowled that over. Good ball, bang on target, defended by Tajinder Singh down the wicket. So good start to this over here for Jaskaran Singh Buttar. He's a pacey bowler and bowls with a fair amount of nip, not express, but generally gets that ball on the right line and the right length and can sometimes surprise you with pace. Once again, not express, but to the extent that you want that ball coming onto the bat from your opening bowler, he's somebody who can fit that bill. Next delivery, lofted in the air, catchable, running back from mid-on and taking it easily. So Jaskaran Singh Buttar with both his arms outstretched because he knows that he has just rewarded his captain's faith in him. And look at them point at each other, him and Harmeet Singh. Apparently that was a plan that came to fruition. A good clean catch taken and lofting that one in the air. No control over it really was Tajinder Singh. He goes 2 from 8 and the first wicket falls. Here we see on the replay, swinging sort of away and lofted down the ground, backpedaling as a fielder, running back from mid-on and taking that pretty simple catch for him in the end. That is Akarshit Gomel. Really, that no difficulty whatsoever in that catch, and he pouches it without any problem. So Tajinder Singh dismissed from a delivery that probably wasn't quite there for the drive, and certainly not one that you want to play without complete assurance that you can clear that fielder at mid-on. But Akarshit Gomel just running backwards and really just pouching that one without much problem whatsoever. So the first wicket goes down. Once again, Tajinder Singh dismissed, and Jaskaran Singh Buttar, here we see on the replay again, keeping the front foot behind the line this time and lofted. In fact, right when Tajinder Singh played that shot, you saw him put his head down because he knew that he didn't come close to hitting that one anywhere near the way that he wanted to. Looking to clear that boundary straight, but again, that ball was just not quite full enough for him to play the shot that he played. So he ended up hitting that ball, got more height on it than distance, and the first blood to the Dallas Xforia Giants. So the new batter is going to be Hassan Ahmed. Hassan Ahmed, right-hander, coming in at the fall of the first wicket. And this will buoy the spirits of the Dallas Xforia Giants, because they were a little bit shell-shocked with the first over that was bowled by Jaskaran Singh Buttar. But it seems to have found the radar, and you would think that from here he'll be able to, number one, keep that front foot behind the line, and then number two, maintain that line and length that he's found the last few deliveries. Knocked him over first ball. Look at that. On a hat trick is Jaskaran Singh Buttar. Forget about the bowling that you saw in that first over, because now he has gotten it bang on target, knocking back the off stump. What a beautiful delivery. The coaches will tell you, aim for top of off. That's exactly what that was. Quick and straight. I mentioned that he can be very quick, and just a hint of outswing going past the outside edge, and Hassan Ahmed sticks around for exactly one ball, has to make that long walk back to the pavilion, and all of a sudden, from a shocker of a first over, Jaskaran Singh Buttar is on a hat trick. Oh, there's that outswing. Just a little bit of movement. Boy, Hassan Ahmed falling over forward, missing out on that opportunity. Here you see, this is going to be a better look. Top of off, bang on target. Such a beautiful sight for the fast bowler to see that ball moving away and kissing the top of the off stump. This is brilliant bowling. And once again, the first over, a bunch of wides, a bunch of no balls, got out of it relatively unscathed, but starting out bang on target here in this, his second over, third of the innings. And all of a sudden, look at this matchup. This is now the captain, former Pakistani international superstar Fawad Alam. In fact, my apologies, that's not the captain. That is Syed Saad Ali. Syed Saad Ali, who is a left-hand batter, who is coming in and is tasked with the job of keeping Jaskaran Singh Buttar from having a hat trick right here in this, let's call it the delayed end to week 5 of the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship 2023. So, on full attack, there is a slip, there is a gully, and there is a short mid-wicket, very short, almost like a catching mid-wicket. And there's a short, fine leg, man in the covers. Here's the hat-trick ball, bowling to Syed Saad Ali. Oh, he'll get 4. I'll tell you what, if the man at short, fine leg was a little bit finer, he may well have had his hat-trick. Just Saad Ali just riding the bounce, getting it. I don't think that he expected it to stay in the air as long as it did. But luckily for him, Saad Ali, that ball was too fine for that fielder at fine leg. So a lot happening in this over. Those were the first runs off the bat in this over. Already 2 wickets down and just 2 balls remaining. Here we see on the replay coming up there, a little straight, and it stayed in the air an agonizingly long time if you're Saad Ali, but he certainly got that so fine that there's no way that that fielder at fine leg would have been able to get close to it. So a lot going on, and what a start to this second over here by Jaskaran Singh Buttar. Here he is again. Struck down the ground, but that is straight to mid-off. Akarshit Gomel, who is the person who started this action with that catch, the second delivery of this innings, of this over, my apologies. So 1 ball remaining, 4 runs already from the over. And after the first over, The Dallas Xforia Giants might have been second-guessing themselves, Harmeet Singh, after choosing to bowl first, but Jaskaran Singh Buttar again has rewarded the faith that his captain has shown in him. Here's the last ball of the third over. Down the leg side, half-hearted appeal. No, that clipped the thigh pad going through. So the line exactly wasn't right on that occasion, but not punished because it came off the body. But otherwise, a successful over. Jaskaran Singh Buttar, 4 runs coming from that over, but he took 2 wickets. After 3, the score is 18 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Absolutely pleasant evening here. Again, pleasant being relative. My information that I have here says it's still 102 degrees, but it's actually feeling very pleasant. A new bowler now. This is the tall off-spinner Akhilesh Bodogam. Half-hearted appeal, underhanded throw. First of all, not out LBW, and then that underhanded throw from square leg was not in time. Akhilesh Bodogam, the tall right-handed spinner, 6'5" or so. I always say if you saw him warming up before the game started, you'd think that he was a pace bowler. But with his height, he gets a tremendous amount of bounce and is a very difficult bowler for the most part. Very difficult to get away and very accurate. And I suspect that the reason why he's been brought into the attack is because of the presence of the left-hander Saeed Saad Ali. So watch out for this matchup. In fact, I'm surprised that there is not a slip fielder, because if there's any turn, it will be away from the left-hander. Bowling around the wicket. Oh, he knocked him over. Look at this. That was the arm ball, a quicker arm ball. All of a sudden, the Chicago Kingsmen are wobbling. 3 down, and immediately finding success is Akhilesh Bodogam. From around the wicket, slants that one into the left-hander. I wondered whether or not they'd have a slip. Let's see where this ball passed. Did it pass the outside edge? But this is excellent bowling regardless of where it passed. You don't need a slip if you're going to knock the stumps over. From around the wicket, slanting it in. There it is. It grips and turns just enough to go past the outside edge. Akhilesh Bodogam with a perfect delivery. That's the kind of delivery that you want as a right-hander. Here we see again from around the wicket, slanted in and straightening just enough to pass that outside edge. Look at the reaction from the tall off-spinner, because everything that has happened in the last several deliveries is coming up exactly the way that you want it if you are the Dallas Xforia Giants. 3 down now. My goodness, Akhilesh Bodogam immediately finding success. This is exactly what you want. And once again, Harmeet Singh choosing to bowl first, and that actually has been rewarded. Now, interesting matchup, because there is now the man at the wicket who, those of you who've been cricket fans for a while will know this name. It will roll off of your tongue. Ravi Bopara, former English international, played for a number of years for England, and these days makes his living now here on the minor league circuit. Tremendous experience, would have been in several thousand positions like this over the course of a very long career. So he's not going to be overawed by the moment, but there's no doubt that the Xforia Giants have their tails up. Here's the first delivery. Half-hearted appeal, almost wanting to go for a run there. Kevin Phillip, the exuberance of youth, trying to get down to the striker's end. Ravi Bopar, I would estimate, is closer to twice Kevin Phillips' age than Kevin Phillips' age. And he says, no, let's not go for that suicidal run. Next delivery, short, played back to Akhilesh Bodogam himself. Working now on a wicket maiden. In fact, not a wicket maiden. The first ball was a single, but working on a very economical first over here is Akhilesh Bodogam. 3 dots on the trot, so just 1 ball remaining. And to the extent that, boy, you really want to turn the screws if you have a team down, that's exactly what is happening here. Harmeet Singh and his bowlers are doing exactly what the situation requires. Last ball off the back foot, but cannot pierce. Can't get it past backward point. What an over. 1 run scored from that over. Make that, yeah, 1 run from the over and 1 wicket taken. So a brilliant, brilliant start to the day with the ball for Achilles Bodugam. At the end of 4, 2 overs remaining in the power play. The score is 19 for 3.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Well, Captain Harmeet Singh thinks he likes the spin attack. Oh, so he takes the ball himself. Bowling now from the theater end. And that first delivery is a left arm spinner's dream. Drifts in and spins past the outside edge. And based on the results of that delivery, you immediately see Harmeet Singh bring a slip fielder into the position now. So there's a first slip facing down to Kevin Phillip. This is how you apply pressure if you are a bowling side. And you have a few deliveries that go past the outside edge. You've knocked over a few batters. You definitely want to keep applying that pressure. In the air, that may clear the fielder running back from mid-on. And in fact, bounces a couple of times and gets down to the boundary for 4. So Kevin Phillip really looking for a way to release some of that pressure. And he lofts it over the top. Really wanted that to be the case. He needed a release shot. And all of a sudden, I think that one was just a little too straight by Harmeet Singh. You have the first slip fielder there, so you want that ball to be an off stump. Oh, stayed in the air for much longer than Kevin Phillip would have been comfortable with. But lands just before Harmeet Singh can get back to it. So 2 deliveries remaining here in the 5th. All of a sudden, spin is really doing the work. And a little bit of shifting in the field now as that fielder is at deep mid-wicket and also down here at long off in front of us here in the commentary area. No ball, my goodness. Harmeet Singh committing the cardinal error. And if Jaskaran Singh Buttar had a number of no balls in the first inning, first over, you can in some ways, if not forgive it, at least understand it, because he's a fast bowler. He's running in from 30 yards away. Harmeet Singh has a run-up of about 3 yards. And he, based on his reaction, doesn't look like he's happy with the call. But no, this next delivery is a free hit. And again, based on the fact that it's the same batter on strike, you cannot change the field. So here it is. Full drilled straight to mid-on. Look at this. Oh! Almost a direct hit at mid-on. Well, I talked about the number of ways that you can be out off of a no ball. That would have been one of them. That strong throw coming from Akarshik Gomel was not able. In fact, that's Ramiz Raj. My apologies. At mid-on, very strong throw, but not able to hit. Had that been a direct hit, Kevin Phillip might have been on the way back to the pavilion. But they do get an extra run. And having to bowl an extra ball in this over now. There's the ball that he's looking for, Harmeet Singh. Despite the no ball, still a brilliant over. 6 runs coming from it. At the end of 5, the score is 25 for 3.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Once again, this is the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship 2023. Lakshmi is the official partner of Minor League Cricket. Brew, Minor League Cricket for the Community partner. And Dolphin Media, MILC's outdoor partner. So having won the toss and choosing to bowl, Dallas Xforia Giants are finding success. This is going to be a new bowler. In fact, Harmeet Singh has finished his over. This first delivery off the outside edge. That's going to run away down the hill for 4. My goodness. The outside edge found, and this is Patil bowling his second over. But this outfield is like a carpet. If you have a carpet in your living room, that's exactly what this outfield is like. And even just the outside edge from the off spinner or from the orthodox left arm spinner finds the edge and runs away down the hill for 4. This is really, really good batting conditions. As I mentioned, you'll get full value for your shots, and the ball for the most part comes onto the bat. But obviously the spinners are finding some turn, and the outfield is absolutely like a carpet. This is just a brilliant, brilliant all-round situation here for Grand Prairie, and we'll continue to see cricket grow in that way. Going back onto the back foot, always tricky to do that to a full delivery, but Phillip is able to keep that one out. Patil so far, this is his second over. 2 deliveries into his second over, conceded 10 runs already. But for the most part, Harmeet Singh has gone spin heavy here. Third delivery defended to Harmeet Singh himself in the covers. So 3 balls remaining in the power play. It's not too early to think about projections. We'll go through projections after this delivery. Left arm around the wicket. Oh, looking for the big swing that will keep slip fielder interested. That means that the run rate is now 5.12. That projects to a score of 102. You will want, I think, much more than that if you're the Kingsmen. They do have the firepower to go a little bit deeper into this. So you'll think that they'll sort of maneuver themselves out of a little bit of hole that they're in now. But still 2 balls remaining, so they only have those 2 balls to take advantage of the power play overs. In the air, not going to carry down to mid-wicket. He just for a second might have thought that he was in with a chance. But that ball landing short of the fielder at mid-wicket. That looks like Jasker and Singh Buttar down there on the boundary. In fact, yes, that is him. Only 1 run, though, and therefore only 1 ball remaining inside the power play. So scoring, in theory, would get more difficult after this next delivery, because at that point, you'll be out of the power play. Here's the last ball. And clipped to, in fact, yep, clipped to mid-wicket. Or more to a wide, long on. Oh, my goodness, missed it live. A call of no ball. Why are these spinners bowling something in no balls? This is Partha Patanaik, who is one of the better umpires that you'll see anywhere, along with Samir Bandekar. And they're both having to do a lot of work keeping up with these extras, because yet again, the spinner committing the cardinal sin of bowling a no ball. Just, you cannot do that as a spinner. You really can't. And not only do the extra balls cost plenty, but the next delivery again is going to be a free hit. So with a handful of exceptions, you cannot be dismissed off of this next ball. These are truly, and it's now Ravi Bopara who has full license to go after this next delivery. Here it is, advancing down the wicket, missing out. Actually well bowled. Once again, you cannot be out off of, in fact, that was Kevin Phillip. My apologies. That was a little bit of confusion on the scorecard. But anyway, the big end result is that that last delivery ended up being a dot ball. Would have been a stumping had that not been a no ball. But the end of the power play, and that is the end of 6. The score is 31 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
31 for 3 after 6. Apologies for you having lost the scorecard. We'll try to keep up with it as much as possible here unofficially, at the same time that we will get that to you on your screen as soon as possible. In the meantime, another left arm spinner, very heavy left-handed spinner or spin bowling attack here. This is going to be Chaitanya Bishnoi. First delivery punched down to long on for a single. Now, of course, we're now out of the power play, so you're no longer restricted to having 2 fielders inside the circle. So there's a long on, there's a long off, there's a deep mid-wicket, there's a square leg, And there's a sweeper on the offside. So tons of protection in the deep. That's just going to be a single down to long on. So if you can do it from here in singles, I think that's what you'd want to do at least for the next couple of overs or so if you're the Kingsmen. But at some point you want to start accelerating again, because that scoring rate of 5.21 only projects to 104 runs from here. Looking to work this away off the back foot, almost beaten for pace there. Quicker delivery by Chetenya Bishnoi. So the first 3 deliveries of the 6th, make that the 7th over, have only cost you 2 runs so far. So you're continuing to turn the screws if you're the Xforia Giants. And you have the powerful Kingsmen in town, but you're giving them all they can handle at the moment. This is Jasker and Singh Buttar coming off of the boundary. So working through these overs relatively quickly here. Of course, the overs will go more quickly when you have spinners bowling as compared to pace bowlers. Only 2 overs of pace so far. Everything else has been spin. Next delivery, tossed up. Oh, catchable. And another wicket goes. Oh, the easiest of catches. Looking to attack was Kevin Phillip. Looking to go big on the offside, on the leg side rather. He commits the cardinal sin of playing across the turning ball. That ball is turning from the lefty, turning from leg to off. So when you try to play to leg, one of several things that can happen is that you just find the outside edge of the bat and the ball pops in the air for the simplest of catches. So that wicket goes down. Wicket number 4, and the Chicago Kingsmen are struggling. So we're not going to be able to see a replay on that, but the bigger issue here is that you've lost 4 of your top order batters, and all of a sudden, if you are the captain, Fawad Alam, who I spoke about earlier briefly, you have all the experience in the world. You've played for Pakistan, you've played for a number of teams in the PSL, and you're a world-class player. But your team is right now struggling, and you're going to have to come in to dig yourself out of the mire. So bearing in mind, the 2 batters who are now at the wicket have dozens, probably hundreds of international games between them. Ravi Bopara is the non-striker. He's on 2 from 10. Fawad Alam is about to take strike for his first delivery. With his unique batting action, if you've never seen his stance before, look at the way that he sets up. Very open stance. In fact, this may be more than an open stance. It almost makes it look like the bowler is coming in from mid-wicket instead of straight down the wicket. So look at how open his stance is. Just 1 ball remaining, and Chetenya Bishnoi, left arm spin, is going to be bowling around the wicket, spearing it into the toes, you'd think, of Fawad Alam. I think that around the wicket angle will be negated somewhat by the absolutely wide open stance that you're about to see there on your screen. That is a very unique style, but it works for him. Here's the first delivery to Fawad Alam, driven down the ground for a single. Yet another successful over. 4 runs coming from it, and the big wicket of Kevin Phillips. So 4 back in the pavilion, and at the end of 7, the score is 35 for 4.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Seven overs up, 36 for 4 is your score. Fawad Alam, having taken a single off the last ball of the previous over, is now on strike to start over number 8. 1 from 1 ball faced. Ravi Bopara at the non-striker's end, 2 from 10 balls faced. Akhilesh Bodogam, the tall right-handed off spinner, found success with his first over, And by the way, Harmeet Singh is doing a masterful job mixing up the spin attack. And this is driven back to the bowler himself for no runs. So no one, in fact, the only person who has bowled 2 consecutive overs has been the opening bowler, Jaskaran Singh Buttar. Everyone else has been shifted around masterfully. Next delivery just played into the leg side, jogging through for a single. Fawad Alam, again, former Pakistani international, played tons of cricket, as you'd imagine. And Ravi Bopara, the former English middle order bat. In fact, you'd probably call him a batting all-rounder. Very hard-hitting batter in his younger days. Maybe not quite so much hard-hitting now, but very skilled with the bat, and then bowls good, useful medium pace. Plays this one into the leg side. They may want 2 here, do they? Coming back for the second. Strong throw. Oh my goodness. A direct hit, and it is curtains for Fawad Alam. They took a bit of a risk there because that was a strong throw. That was Jaskaran Singh Buttar sprinting in from mid-wicket, and I think a direct hit here sees the back of Fawad Alam. We'll be able to see it coming up here on the replays shortly. There's a strong pickup. Here's a throw. Gone. He was gone before the slide. The bat was even starting to slide. Back cut. That's going to run away for 4. Expertly played by Ravi Bopara. So that could have been a real swing in fortunes there. A direct hit would have seen wicket number 5 go down. There was not a direct hit. And then all of a sudden, the next delivery is cut away behind point expertly by Ravi Bopara for a boundary. That's his first boundary. He now goes to 8 from 12. Fawad Alam 2 from 3. And this is the next ball coming now from Akhilesh Bodagam. So a bit of a cat and mouse game going on here. Each of these batters very experienced, trying to wrest back the initiative from the bowling side. The Xforia Giants have been on the ascendancy for the last 6 overs. Over number 1 was very ordinary, but they've been on top of their game ever since that. 7 runs from the over so far with 1 ball remaining. Driven down to long off. Fielder coming off the ropes there. And that is the end of over number 8. 26 runs have come from the last 5 overs. And the score after 8 is 44 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Chaitanya Bisnoy to continue bowling from the theater end. Left arm spin, bowling to Ravi Bopara. Oh, great delivery. Is that going to be a wicket? No. Big turn. Half-hearted appeal by the fielder, square of the wicket. A big appeal by Smith Patel, who with the gloves on. But I think that may have just kissed off of maybe the thigh pad of Ravi Bopara. Get a good look here. Left arm spinning in, bites, turns, and I think that might have just flicked off the pad. So that's not going to be out. Good decision by Samir Bandekar. Next delivery, going back and wanting to play this down the wicket. Misses out, wraps him on the pad. More half-hearted appeal than an actual appeal. But 2 precious dot balls, so that run rate going in reverse if you are the Chicago Kingsmen is now down to 5.28. 5.28 from here projects to a score of 106. So where do you end up? We'll go through some potential projected scores in just a minute. After this delivery, we can do that. Sweeping, but finds short fine leg. 3 dot balls on the trot. So the current run rate 5.18. If you score at 6 runs and over from here, run a ball that gets you to 113. If you score At 8 runs and over from here, that gets you to 136. I would think that you'd have to look for something along those lines if you are the Chicago Kingsmen. Another good delivery by Chaitanya Bishnoi. These are really important deliveries in the context of this game. Another dot ball. So 4 dot balls on the trot. Ravi Bopara now 9 from 18. 50 strike rate is not going to excite anyone in that lineup. Plays this off the back foot. Jaskaran Singh Bhattar, who has made patrolling this on the boundary on this side of the field his own for the last few overs. Very strong throwing arm. They will not try to run a second on him. And just 1 ball left in the over. Just 1 run having been scored in the over so far. This is really, really good bowling. Excellent bowling by the Xforia Giants. Captain Harmeet Singh choosing to bat first, maybe to bowl first, my apologies. And now the last ball, defended back down the pitch by Fawad Alam. 1 run coming from over number 9. Would you believe it? So the run rate is now exactly 5. 45 for 4 after 9. We'll be right back.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Nine overs bowled, 45 for 4. And the tall off spinner Akhilesh Badagam is bowling his 3rd over. 2 overs so far, 1 for 9. Excellent bowling by the young off spinner. Bowling now to Ravi Bopara, who forces this one down to long on for a single. So you're at the point now, if you're the Kingsmen, where you only have another 65 balls to bat in this innings, and you have not yet gotten to 50. So 10 and over from right where you are now gets you to 154. On a good batting wicket, I don't think 154 is that difficult a chase. But you're going to have to maintain something close to 10 runs and over to be competitive the rest of the way, one would think. So just keep an eye on when they choose to attempt to accelerate, because that's going to be a major variable in this game. From around the wicket, Akhilesh Bodogam has Fawad Alam defending, no run. He is only 2 runs against his name from 6 balls faced. And not quite ready here that time, I don't think. In fact, that was a dead ball. Fawad Alam indicating that he was not quite ready. Not sure what the disturbance was, but as a batter in cricket, you're allowed to step away at whatever time that you're not ready. So there's a plane flying overhead. We're not too far away from the Dallas-Fort Worth airport here. Oh, look at this. A little bit of a cheeky shot, a scoop shot over his shoulder. They'll get too easily. That's a long run back from backward square leg. That is Ajay Masand running back to retrieve that one. But that's good work. And Fawad Alam, I mentioned, when do you see some urgency creep into the batting? Well, I think you saw some evidence of it there. Fawad Alam wanting to change things around and sort of break the shackles from the spin attack. Going off the back foot, playing now square. That's again Jaskaran Singh Bhattar on the boundary. And just another single. So 2 balls remaining before we're at the halfway stage of this innings. 4 runs already from the 10th. And once again, you have not yet gotten to 50. So you do have some makeup work to do here if you're the Kingsmen. Bodogam again. In the air and caught. Straightforward catch. The man at the deep backward point, if you will, on the circle. And not able to keep that one down was Ravi Bopara. Looking probably to play that a little square. Coming off the outside edge and peeling straight to that man on the circle at backward point. Gets to him head height. Could never hope for an easier catch. And the 5th wicket goes down. Look at the replay. We'll see the replay shortly. But that one, Ravi Bopara not able to keep it down to the extent that you want to accelerate. You have to sort of manufacture runs, but this is probably not the ball to do it too. Here's the replay now. Akhilesh Bodogan with his second wicket, ball outside, and he pushes it through more quickly. That definitely had more pace on it. I think that's what was the downfall, or what brought the downfall of Ravi Bopara that time. And I believe that was Udaybir Singh Walia, the U21 player, with that catch. So a very straightforward catch, chest height, and swallowed up with glee. The Xforia Giants are on the ascendancy. One ball remaining in over number 10, and yet another wicket goes down, and they're 49 for 5. Half of the side is back into the pavilion, and they've not yet gotten 50 runs on the board. And by the way, that run rate is now down under 5. It's 4.98. So, new batter coming in is going to be Hassan Khan. Hassan Khan is going to have to do some work here to stick with his captain, Fawad Alam, playing within himself so far, with the exception of that scoop shot that you saw a couple deliveries ago. But Hassan Khan is at the point where he's going to want to help his captain score some runs, because they're really going to be needing that at the moment. Just one ball remaining here in over number 10. And the Kingsmen, again, coming in as the much stronger side. They're at the top of the table, 5 wins and only 1 loss. But I'll tell you, they're struggling at the moment. Here's the last ball of the 10th over. In the air, stayed in the air for an agonizingly long time if you're Hassan Khan. But it lands just short of the captain, Harmeet Singh, who's sprinting in from the covers like a hawk, not able to get to it in time. But a successful over at the end of 10. The Kingsmen struggling, 49 for 5.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Harmeet Singh with the ball to start the 11th. We're into the second half of this innings. And the spinners are absolutely doing the work here for Harmeet Singh. That brings up the 50, by the way, with that single. But I don't think that the Kingsmen expected to be 5 down when they reached 50. And I think you'll see the balance that needs to be struck between defense and attack, because you don't want to lose any more wickets, but at some point you have to start thinking about what sort of target you're going to set. So Hassan Khan and Fawad Alam have work to do. This is not Fawad Alam on strike. Make that Hassan Khan on strike. Played off the back foot. And that's Jaskaran Singh Buttar coming off the boundary to make sure that that's just a single. So Hassan Khan off the mark with that single, 1 from 2 balls faced. Fawad Alam, 6 from 8. So between the two batters at the wicket, they've faced fewer than 10 deliveries. So you're going to have to start building some momentum. Have to get that momentum from somewhere. Next delivery pushes this one through more quickly. Fawad Alam, Harmeet Singh, and then Fawad Alam plays it behind square for a single. But boy, these runs have dried up. The overall run rate, 5.03. It's been hovering around 5 for the last several deliveries. And just 3 balls remaining now in the 11th. Next delivery forces it off the back foot. They're looking for 2. I think they may just, change their minds quickly. And I'll tell you what, that's good work in the deep. I believe that's Akarshet Gomel coming in off the boundary to make sure that the damage is limited to 1 run. So just doing it in singles right now are the Kingsmen. And boy, you're going to have to, again, figure out some way to manufacture runs. You don't want to do anything reckless if you're the Chicago Kingsmen. But you're starting to run out of balls. Only 56 balls remaining, and you only have 53 runs on the board. Oh, extra bounce, played off the back foot, and they'll get a single. But once again, you're only doing it in ones. So Harmeet Singh already, this is one delivery left in his second over. He's a very good bowler, and he has a ton of other bowlers to offer him support, to say nothing of the fact that we still have 2 overs to come from Jaskaran Singh Buttar, who almost had a hat-trick in his second over. Pushes this one through more quickly. Harmeet Singh will be upset that he didn't field that one, but no harm, no foul. It bounces through down to mid-on, but they're not able to take an extra run. So that is the end of the over. 11 overs up. We're into the last 54 deliveries of the innings with only 54 runs on the board. Score is 54 for 5.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
$54 for 5. You're at the last 54 deliveries of this innings, and this is Prasad Patil, who's back into the attack. Bowled 2 overs already. Went at exactly a run a ball. Conceded 12 runs from his 2 overs. Left arm over the wicket. Bowling to the left-handed Fawad Alam. And every dot ball builds the pressure on the Chicago Kingsmen side. Fawad Alam is going to, you think, start cutting loose sometime soon. That is a lovely shot. Absolutely brilliant shot. Rocking back and piercing that gap between point and backward point. And there's no way that Jaskaran Singh Buttar on the boundary would have been able to get anywhere close to that. So I started saying I'm going to expect for Fawad Alam to start cutting loose sometime soon. He can be as defensive as he has been for a long time, but I think at some point you have to start looking about accelerating towards setting a total that you can defend. 12 from 12. So he's now striking it at 100 for the first time in a while. Tries to repeat the stroke, but this time this will be fielded on the boundary. It's another single. So his strike rate is exactly 100. 13 from 13. Hassan Khan, 2 from 4. So his strike rate is exactly half of that. So at some point, it may have to be this pair that sort of takes the bull by the horns and seeing how much they can push on toward a competitive total. My estimate of a par score would be around 130, short of a length and played back down the ground for a single. So in order for them to get to 130 from here, 8 and over gets them to 128, 9 and over gets them to 137. So something in that range. They need to be scoring somewhere between 8 and 9 runs and over just to get to par. And then if you want to go beyond that, because I think batting conditions are easier in the evening, then I would anticipate that they'd want something in the range of 140 or above. But they have some work to do to get that far. Working this around the corner. Definitely looking for 2 here. You see the captain put his head down and sprint, but they're not going to get it. That is good work. Really good work in the deep. So limiting the damage to 1 at a time, with the exception of that second ball that was cut away for 4 by Fawad Alam. But to the extent that you want to keep the pressure on, for the most part, the Xforia Giants are doing that. And just 1 ball remaining now in this, the 12th over. Sliced away. That's going to be over the top, and it's going to run away for 4. Fortuitous. I think he was looking to play that one, Hassan Khan, more toward the over the covers, but it came off the thick outside edge, the left arm spinner finding essentially the outside edge, but it was the power that was in the shot that allowed it to run away for 4. So yeah, definitely looking to play that square, but it flies away over the top and goes for 4. So you'll take that. 2 boundaries from the over, 1 from each of the batters. That's the end of 12. The score is 65 for 5.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
65 for 5, Chaitanya Bishnoi with the ball in hand, about to bowl his 3rd over. So far his figures are 1 for 6 from 2 overs bowled. Bowling now to Fawad Alam. Ah, looking big. I'll tell you what, that peeled off the outside edge, almost carried to short 3rd. That would have been disastrous for the Kingsmen, but the captain lives to fight another day. Bowling around the wicket to the lefty. So if there's any turn, it would be back into him, but the angle that's created from him bowling around the wicket sort of forces him to play on the offside. This is brilliant bowling here by Bishnoi. This one is a full toss though. Low full toss, punch down to Ramiz Raja, coming off of the boundary at long on. Just a single. So the bowlers have all been very, very effective. The most expensive has been Prasad Patil. His 3 overs have cost him 23. Jaskaran Singh Buttar with those 2 wickets in his 2nd over, 2 consecutive deliveries. Akhilesh Bodogam, the tall finger spinner, 2 for 13 so far. That's crashed away. That's a lovely shot. That's going to be 4. That made a really nice sound coming off the bat. Hassan Khan is now striking it above 100 strike rate. He's now to 11 from 7. And that ball, or that shot rather, was a shot of authority. Staying leg side intentionally and cutting that one away. Intentionally did not get in line with that ball and really getting that away for 4. So looking to show some signs of acceleration here, the Kingsmen. Oh, half-hearted appeal as he was looking big over mid-wicket and misses out on the attempted hoik, but no real chance for that being adjudged to LBW. You don't think that might have been slipping down the leg side. 2 balls remaining here in over number 13. Finish going through the bowlers in just a minute. 2 balls remaining in over number 13. In the air, and Captain Harmeet Singh at cover, not able to cut that off, but only a single as Ramiz Raja coming off the boundary to field. So in terms of the bowlers, about the only one who has not necessarily made a big impact was Prakash Patil. But even then, 3 overs, many of those bowled, in fact 2 of those bowled inside the power play. So he'll accept those figures. Not necessarily expensive, even though he didn't take wickets. He was, for the most part, restrictive. And Harmeet Singh still has 2 overs to bowl. This is the last ball, played off the back foot by Fawad Alam. That's a single into the covers to close things out here in over number 13. 7 runs coming from that over. At the end of 13, the score is 72 for 5.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
As a reminder, this is the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium in Grand Prairie, Texas, in the Dallas area. This is the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship 2023. Lakshmi is our official partner of Minor League. Brew is Minor League Cricket's Cricket for the Community partner, and Dolphin Media, MILC Cricket's outdoor partner. And now this is Akhilesh Bodogam coming back into the attack to bowl his last over. Again, excellent figures for him so far. 3 overs, 2 for 13, and he will be bowling to Fawad Alam around the wicket. That should be 2 if they sprint hard. I think they'll get it easily. Coming back for the second, strong throw, accurate throw, but making it relatively easily is Fawad Alam. So they're going to need much more of that. And Fawad Alam is smart enough to just be able to punch it into the gaps and run singles and doubles. And at some point, I would have to think that you'll see an acceleration. The acceleration hasn't necessarily come yet. There have been signs of it, but no sustained acceleration. They're going to need something along those lines. We'll go through the projected scores again in a second. That's well struck, and that's going to be 4. Oh, yes. Oh, diving attempt by that fielder long off. He did well to get to it, but having gotten to it was not able to keep it from going over the ropes. That was actually a good piece of work. Look at the top left of your screen here. Sprinting across and making 20 or so yards, full stretch, diving across that excellent carpet out there in the outfield, but not able to keep it from going over the ropes. So maybe this is the acceleration that we're referring to. Fawad Alam now up to 22 from 19. Hassan Khan 12 from 9 at the non-striker's end. Here's Akhilesh Badogam again off the back foot. That should just be a single down to long on. So the last 39 balls of the innings are coming up. Currently, the run rate is 5.93. This run rate gets you to 119. If you get to 7 and over, it gets you to 1.2 or 126. 9 and over gets you to 139. 10 and over gets you to 146. So that's sort of where you'd be looking. I would think that you'd have to be targeting somewhere between 8 and 10 and over from this point on. Oh, that's 6 of the 10, or is it? Yes, goes all the way over the ropes, that deep mid wicket. A big strike by Hassan Khan. That is a good looking strike, and again, this is the off spinner bowling to him, so any turn is going to be into that shot. So here you see big strike, Akhilesh Badogam with a good delivery. If it were to a left-hander, to a right-hander, it might have been just a little too straight. And this next delivery punched down to long on. Do they want 2? They are coming back for 2. Strong throw is not going to be in time. So really productive over so far, with 1 ball remaining here in over number 14. 15 runs already from this over. 87 runs on the board. So I've referred a couple of times to acceleration. This really does feel like exactly that. No, just the 37 balls remaining in the innings. Down the leg side, clipped away for 4. So absolutely the biggest over of the innings so far. 19 runs coming from the over. Akhilesh Badogam figures spoiled somewhat from that last over. Was bowling really well before that. But that boundary to close things out in the 14th puts the score to 91 for 5. Last 6 coming up. We'll be right back.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So there is no doubt that there has been a momentum switch in this last over. 19 runs coming from that last over. Most of them off the bat of Hassan Khan, who is now up to 24. Look at this. He's overtaken his senior partner, Fawad Alam. Hassan Khan now 24 from 12. Fawad Alam 23 from 20. So we're into the last 6 overs. And I think sensing the need to change the equation somewhat, the captain, Harmeet Singh, now has ball in hand again. Right arm, I'm sorry, left arm around the wicket. And he's going to be bowling to Fawad Alam, the left-handed batter. Once again, Fawad Alam with a very open stance. So to some extent, the advantage of coming around the wicket is negated by the open stance that Fawad Alam has. Now, not really playing that one very effectively, almost falling over as he plays that shot, gets it down to long on for a single. But little by little, each of these deliveries is ticking away. You're down to 35 balls. 92 runs are on the board. We'll go through some more projected scores in just a minute after this next delivery. In the air should just be one. Yeah, they're simply jogging through for that one. So current run rate 6.56. That projects to a healthy 131. You certainly projected to a much higher score now than you did a couple of overs ago. 8 and over gets you to 140. 10 and over gets you to 150. So that's sort of where you'd be looking, I would think, and see how well this pair is able to execute that. Hit hammered over the top of extra cover. Goes deep into his crease, the former Pakistani middle order batter, and hammers it over the top of extra cover for another boundary. So runs are now coming a lot thicker and faster. Look at Fawad Alam here. Interestingly, that he's able to play away on the offside after that wide open stance. You'd almost think that that stance would force him to play on the leg side, but he gets into good position and hammers that ball away over extra cover for another boundary. Tossed up, and he goes in the same direction again for 4 more. Hit more firmly this time. This one bouncing maybe 2 or so times before it gets to the boundary at deep extra cover. But Fawad Alam well and truly, along with his partner Hassan Khan on the charge. This is tossed a lot wider that time. In fact, it just bounced once before it hammered into the fence beyond the ropes out there, extra cover. So along with his partner Hassan Khan, Fawad Alam is on the charge. There's no question that they've put their foot onto the accelerator and looking to move on. He's now into the 30s. Paddle around the corner for 4 more. Oh my goodness, this is now turning into a run spree. 3 consecutive 4s. 14 from the over right now with 1 ball to come. 19 from the over before this. So runs all of a sudden are starting to flow. Harmeet Singh from around the wicket, just a little too straight. From around the wicket, he's going to want that one from maybe a little bit more outside the line of off. That would have been down the leg side and might well have been adjudged wide had it not been swept away for 4 by Fawad Alam. But he's now finding run scoring much more easy. Matter of fact, that last 2 strokes ago, the 100 came up. The score is now 105 with 1 ball remaining here in over number 15. And for the first time in several overs, it appears to be the Dallas Xforia Giants who are on the back foot. Changing the line of attack now, going over the wicket, and this punch down the ground for a single. So an expensive over. 2 consecutive two expensive overs consecutively. 19 from over number 14, and now 15 from over number 15. Look at that. So 57 from the last 5 overs. We're coming up on the last 5 overs. The score is 106 for 5.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So we've been on a very heavy diet of spin for the last several overs, but that now changes with the introduction to the attack of the young man Udaybir Singh Walia. He's a U21 player, bowling right arm seam, bowling now to the left-handed Fawad Alam. Fawad Alam up to 37 from 25, and that acceleration that we were looking for is finally here. And now it's going to be Hassan Khan, who's a non-striker. He's on 25 from 13, so he's actually striking it at a much better strike rate than his captain, Fawad Alam. Here's the first delivery. Full toss down the leg side for 4. Easy as you like. You're not going to get very many batters out with a full toss going down the leg side, and certainly not from a former Pakistani middle order batter like Fawad Alam. Look at this full toss down the leg side. The excuse that you could potentially have made is that had that missed, the umpire, Partha Patanaik, might have had a decision to make as to whether or not that would have hit in line and going on to hit leg stump. But any good batter is going to want to put those types of deliveries away. So the run rate is now up to 7.33. So keep watching that. Udebir Singh Walia clipped away, more work to do by the fielder at deep square leg, and they'll come back easily for the second run. So all of a sudden, runs flowing at an absolutely torrential rate. Powder Lamb now up to 43. Hassan Khan, 25, still hasn't faced a delivery in this over. Interesting that Smith Patel, from behind the stumps, ran all the way down to the bowler himself to provide some advice. So it's going to be really important for the young man to get this right. Bowling to a former international player can be intimidating, but he still has to stick to his basics. Oh, forcing this off the back foot. That's actually a good delivery. Oh, no, I think he stepped on the ball with Udebir Singh Walia. That is never a comfortable thing to have happen. Looking to use his foot to prevent that ball from going by, but I don't know if we will have a replay on that. He went down immediately, and from the naked eye, it appeared as though he may have done exactly that. Twisted his ankle from having stepped on the ball. See if we can see here. Good delivery and running across. This should give us a good idea here. No, the injury in fact took place before he got to the ball. So I don't know whether or not he pulled something. It appears to be in his the lower extremity of his right foot, probably his right ankle, somewhere in that area. I would have to think that he would be too injured to continue playing, certainly to continue bowling. If you're a captain, you don't want him bowling this over. Let's see. Nothing there yet. Still don't see exactly what happened, but whatever it is, it was on his right foot. Something on the right foot, whether he twisted his ankle or in some way injured one of the lower extremities somewhere on his right foot. Didn't see exactly what happened, and in fact, looking at him now, he's walking without much difficulty. So you might chalk that one up to the exuberance of youth or the indestructibility of youth. The U21 player limping around a little gingerly, but he can, or it does appear that he's going to continue bowling. So just for those of you who are not aware, if you're injured in the middle of an over, if you're a bowler and you're bowling in the middle of an over, if you're injured, obviously if you can't bowl anymore, someone else can come on and bowl that over, finish bowling the over for you. And that's the only condition in which you can not complete an over once you've started it. So here he is again. Good delivery, but stroked down the ground for a single. So you'll accept a full toss, a low full toss that's drilled down the ground for a single. That's certainly more economical than all the boundaries that have been hit in the last several overs. 2 deliveries remaining in this over number 16. And look, 60 runs have already come from the last 5, including this over that's ongoing. So still, the run rate has picked up over 12 and over from the last 5. And here's Udebir Singh Walia with 2 balls remaining in this over. Off the outside edge. Oh my goodness, a direct hit there. Ramiz Raja almost had his former Pakistani compatriot. A direct hit there. Really may have seen the back of the former Pakistani middle order batter, but they eventually get the single on an overthrow. So Ramiz Raja looking to be more aggressive and trying to get that run out. You don't mind him trying to manufacture a wicket out of nowhere, but that overthrow unfortunately cost them a run. So this is the last ball of over number 16. And it's defended, diving. Look at Akhilesh Bodagum. Good work. Definitely stopping 1 run there for his side. How important will that be in the grand scheme of this game? No way to tell just yet. But a relatively sedate over compared to the last several. Only 9 runs coming from that over from Udebir Singh Walia. At the end of 16, the score is 115 for 5.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Chaitanya Bishnoi is going to be closing out his spell. 3 overs bowled so far for Bishnoi, and has been very economical so far. 1 for 13 from those 3 overs. So excellent bowling by the left-arm orthodox spinner. But he's bowling now under different conditions because these two have put their foot on the gas, hammered in the area of extra cover. That's just going to be a single. So Hassan Khan, 26 from 15. Pawad Alam is a boundary away from a 50. And we're at the point in the innings where there's just 23 balls remaining. So one delivery less than 4 overs to go. This pair has truly dragged the Kingsmen towards respectability. 116 runs, projects to be somewhere around 145 if they keep the same run rate. Down the leg side, quick single taken. We'll look to see what is signaled here by umpire Bandeker. It's going to be a leg by. So not a lot of extras in this innings in the last several overs. First few overs had a ton of no balls and wides, but for the most part the bowling attack has been cleaned up. But that's the first wide or first extra that we've had in a while. Bishnoi around the wicket, tosses this one up. Oh, that's going to be close. What's the decision? It appeared to have ricocheted off of the pad and into the air. Diving attempt by Smith Patel, and I think he pouched it, but it may not have come off anything but the pad. This quick replay will give us an idea of what happened. Tossed up, and yeah, that just came off the thigh pad. Good work by Smith Patel, half-hearted appeal, but no real sense of that being given out. Struck down the ground. There's work to do for Ramiz Raja. Diving attempt, good work for him, and saves the damage, limits the damage to 2 runs. Definitely saving 2 runs there, Ramiz Raja. Diving to his right. He is right-handed, so that's his stronger side, but he still had work to do to get that one. It was looking to pierce the gap that time by Fawad Alam, that gap between long on and long off. Gets 2 more runs. Here's this next delivery. He's on 48. Hammered in the air. Does he get to 50 here? No, he does not. Just a single down to long on. Make that long off. Apologies. And so just 2 balls remaining here now in over number 17. And the run rate certainly has picked up in the last several overs, up now to 7.27. Fawad Alam 1 single away from 50, and Hassan Khan 26 from 16. Next delivery, played into the onside. That's going to be the bowler himself who's able to pick that up and prevent anything other than just that single. So an economical over, 6 runs coming from it. In the context of this game, that is slowing things down. And that's a great spell, by the way, by Chaitanya Bishnoi. 4 overs, 1 for 18. 17 overs bowled. The score is 121 for 5.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
We're down to the last 18 balls of the innings. And Jaskaran Singh Buttar, who again has had a really good spell, bowled the first over and was very wayward. A lot of wides, a lot of no balls. But this next spell, or the second over that he bowled, was a brilliant one where he took 2 wickets. And not only did he take 2 wickets, he restricted the scoring. So his figures so far, 2 for 12 from 2 overs. And one would think that he would be bowling overs number 18 and 20. Now coming in to bowl to Hassan Khan. Again, the tables have turned somewhat in the last several deliveries, make that the last several overs. And not to be outdone, I think the bowling has been decent, but it takes a steady hand and a cool demeanor like Fawad Alam's to be able to get his team into a position of relative strength compared to where they were several deliveries ago. Sus cut away, bad ball outside off stump, too far outside, give him too much width, and that's just easily put away for 4. You don't want to bowl those types of deliveries. Really, you don't ever want to bowl those types of deliveries, but certainly not in the last 3 overs, short and wide, and allowing Hassan Khan the freedom to open his arms and cut that away over the top of point. Easy pickings there for any batter worth his salt, and you're going to want to tighten up that line and bowl a fuller length. In fact, now we see Harmeet Singh dropping back exactly where that ball went, and the fielder who was at deep third is now inside the ropes, or make that inside the circle. So the field setting suggests that he'll still be bowling a short of length, which I don't think is accurate. That is short of length, whipped off his hips down to Ramiz Raja at deep fine leg. At this stage of the innings, I don't know that you don't just bowl full and straight. And with the field set the way that it is, boy, you're really wanting to, you'll accept singles. So singles down the ground at this stage of the innings don't hurt you. Bowling short of length certainly will allow the batters to get under the ball, and from that standpoint, you can be more expensive. But that philosophy has changed now because he'll be bowling to Fawad Alam, the lefty, who's on strike. 49 from 33 are his figures right now, just 1 run away from 50. We're down to the last 16 deliveries of the innings. And that's 50 for Fawad Alam. You'll hear the applause. You might be able to hear it in your mics right now, just forcing that one to mid-wicket. So a really important innings played here by the captain. He has done well. When he came in, his team was struggling, but put together a really good partnership. In fact, he's building right now an excellent partnership with Hassan Khan. He's on 50 from 34. Hassan Khan, who is now back on strike, is 32 from 19. And again, looking at this field, there's a fielder at deep square leg. There is Ramiz Raja on the boundary at deep fine leg. So that suggests he's bowling short. And that's very short and hammered straight to square leg. Boy, again, if you have a plan and you want to execute against that plan, that's why you have a think tank. You study tendencies by the batters and the bowlers, and then you make plans accordingly. But for me, at this stage of the innings, I don't know that it doesn't make more sense to just bowl a length that the batters cannot get underneath. And if you get a punch down the wicket for a single, so be it. That length, had that ball been hit either 5 yards to either left or the right, that fielder in the deep, that would have been another boundary. So just something to think about. 14 balls remaining here in this over number 18. Slower delivery, lofted down the ground. Long on is there and pouches it easily. Straightforward catch. And so Fawad Alam, after having put together a real, wait, was that a bump ball? It apparently was a bump ball. I thought for a second that was a hit that's straight down the ground. So we'll see exactly what this is. Looking at the replay, that appears to be just a drive down the ground. Was it a no ball? It was signaled as a no ball. Okay, so we missed that live. Okay, I was wondering why nobody was expected the dismissal. So this was a no ball. Jasker and Singh Buttar. This next one is whipped away in the air, stays in the air a very long time. You won't see anyone dive to try to catch that because that would not have been out. That's a free hit delivery +2. So a flurry of runs and deliveries there all of a sudden. A couple of things that happened that we were not aware of. But yes, based on everything that just happened, I think that that was a no ball. We'll await confirmation on that. The scoreboard has one more run than we do. Just got clarification. It was not that last ball that was a no ball. It was a penultimate ball before that one that was a no ball. So long way of saying there was an extra ball and an extra run, and that delivery there signals the end of the over. That is the end of over number 18. The score is 133 for 5.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Okay, so the last 12 deliveries of the innings, a respectable 133 for 5, and the Kingsmen are not done yet. So just the last 2 overs remaining. 8 runs per over from here gets you to 150. And this is again going to be the young bowler Udair Singh Walia. Starts out here with a full toss outside off stump, a very loose delivery, my goodness. Full and outside off, and giving Hassan Khan all the room in the world to hammer that through the covers, in fact over the top of cover, just going down on one knee to create that leverage and elevating it over the top. It's a really poor way to start the over. Udair Singh Walia is going to want to bowl it a lot straighter and at least make it pitch. I don't mind him aiming for the Yorker, but if you bowl it that wide and that full, that's what you expect to happen, and that's what would happen. Looking for 2 here. I think they'll come back for it. Strong throw to the keeper's end, off target. And so another 2 runs. And by the way, Hassan Khan is now looking to get caught up with his captain. 42 from 24 are his numbers, and I'll tell you what, this partnership is truly coming on. 49 for 5 when these two came together. So they are now in the middle of a 90-run partnership. What an important partnership in the context of this game. Hammered straight. That should just be 1 though. Down to long on. This partnership is now worth 91 runs. What an absolutely brilliant partnership. When they came together, the Kingsmen were absolutely struggling. But I've spoken before about the fact that the Kingsmen are at the top of the table. So they are a very good side. And what they've done here, this pair, is pull the entire team out of the mire. And they've gotten themselves into a really good position here. 3 deliveries remaining in over number 19. Udair Singh Walia is going to have to get these last 3 deliveries right, but he's bowling to 2 batters who are very well set, both of whom have all the license in the world to be expressive. Scoop shot, that's going to go. Doesn't quite go as fine as he was looking to play it there. Fawad Alam, boy, looking to scoop that over his shoulder. One of the more inventive shots that you've seen. He played a similar shot earlier. This one doesn't exactly get it the way he wanted it to. Boy, that ordinarily would have run off the face of the bat right over the keeper's head for 4. But that sort of came off the cue end of the bat, so it didn't ricochet away very far. So short fine leg was able to get to it. Here's the next delivery. Whips around the corner. And fine leg bobbles it, so they want a second. Coming back for the second, a wayward throw, and he concedes an additional run with a bad misfield at short fine leg. So the wheels a little bit coming off of the wagon here for the Dallas Xforia Giants. 1 ball remaining in over number 19. We've already had 143 runs on the board. So to the extent that you had them under pressure, you wanted to try to close them out, but we're not able to do that. And so with 1 ball remaining in over number 19, Udebir Singh Walia's second over. Banged the way into the deep. That should just be 1 run to deep mid-wicket. 11 runs coming from that over. 53 coming from the last 5. And with 1 over remaining, 6 more balls. 144 for 5 is the score for the Kingsmen.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So take a look at this. This is a representation of the runs by over, as we refer to it sometimes, the Manhattan. Look at that one tall building at skyscraper at over number 14, 19 runs coming from it. But generally speaking, the overs toward the right side of your chart are much taller than the ones to the left side of your chart. So that tells you that they've accelerated beautifully. This pair has put on, again, 95 runs. They came together when the score was 49 for 5. And now with the last over to be bowled, Jaskaran Singh Buttar has the ball in hand, and he'll be bowling to Hassan Khan, who is on the verge of a very, very important 50. 46 from 27 with 5 fours and a 6. Needs to be accurate here. Launched down the ground, has plenty of height. How much distance? Not, in fact, it does have enough distance. So that clears long on, and what an important 50 for Hassan Khan. 52, joins his captain at that number, but in much fewer balls. 28 balls with 5 fours and now 2 sixes. Look at this replay. Stepping across to the onside to access the onside. Steps across to the offside rather to access the onside, and lofting it over the top. Long on. Needed to have been about 2 feet taller to be able to get that one. So big 6 down the ground, and that also brings up the 150. So the Chicago Kingsmen, after a really sedate and unsure start, have roared into top form. 5 balls remaining. They've already gotten to 150. That's going to be judged wide, or no, it's not a judge wide. And in fact, Hassan Khan pleading with umpire Partha Patanaik for the wide, but it's not going to be given to him. See what this looks like on the replay. Oh, right over the line it looks like. I think that's a good decision by umpire Partha Patanaik. Now, bearing in mind, it's the umpire's discretion. Those wide lines are there as a guideline, but the umpires have the final decision as to whether or not those are going to be adjudged wide. For me, that goes right over the top of the line, and Hassan Khan staying leg side, looking to play that through the offside, was not able to reach it, but I think that's also well bowled by Jaskaran Singh Buttar. Full toss, that's 6. Clipping it over the top, into the stands, over backward square leg. So on a full charge here, the Kingsmen with this pair, Hassan Khan and Fawad Alam. This partnership is now worth 109. This is going to be, from you see on the replay here, full and going down the leg side, and it gets the treatment. My goodness, you're going to have to make that ball pitch. You have to do better than to bowl full tosses going down the leg side in over number 20. So 3 balls remaining. Boy, this partnership is really, really something. And the ball is lost. In fact, we've just gotten it back. Sometimes in the stands, the ball sneaks under a chair and you're not able to find where it is. But We retrieved it. 3 balls remaining. Hassan Khan has actually accelerated past his partner. 58 from 30. Tremendous innings by him. This partnership now worth 107 runs. And boy, you see, just reading the body language of the Xforia Giants, they were on top for probably 12 or 13 overs in this innings. But all of a sudden, the class of the Kingsmen has shown through, because they have roared back to take a dominant position in this match, and they're not done yet. 156 for 5. I suggested earlier that a par score might be around 140. Well, they've roared past that, and again, they're not done yet. Still 3 legal deliveries remaining. Now, I think they're going to be going full and straight, because deep third and fine leg are both inside the circle, and long on and long off are in position. Hammered down the ground, doesn't exactly time it well, but coming back for the second. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's good running. They committed to that second run immediately. Obviously, with this stage of the innings, you can take all the chances that you want, and you do whatever you want to try to manufacture extra runs. 2 balls remaining. Hassan Khan now at 60 from 31, if you can believe it. Fawad Alam 52 from 36. This pair absolutely done well to pull their team into what I think is really a good position. Time will tell if it's a match-winning position, but they're certainly in a better position now than they were a few overs ago. Skied, and this is Harmeet Singh in the covers. He's not going to drop this. He'll take that 10 times out of 10, but the damage has already been done. Simple catch taken, and walking off is Hassan Khan, but look at that. Gets the congratulations from his captain. Job well done. Looking to play that away on the leg side, and just off the leading edge, Harmeet Singh taking that one chest height. No real difficulty. That's not something that will give a player of Harmeet Singh's caliber any trouble. Much of the damage has already been done. Hassan Khan going off after having scored a 60 from 32 balls faced, and listen to the applause from him walking off the field. And now this is just going to be 1 ball to be faced by Zia-ul Haq. Zia-ul Haq, who will probably open the bowling. He's a left-arm fast bowler, but here he's going to be asked to swing for the fences on this last ball. Zia-ul Haq, again, another former Pakistani international player. And he's going to be here facing down Jaskaran Singh Buttar. Short, that has to be a wide. Given a wide, bounces well over the top. And again, the square leg umpire has the decision to make as to whether or not that ball bounced over the top of the batter, who would have been in a normal standing position. So it's not necessarily where it crosses him in his stance, but you can't tell from that angle. But from our angle here, you could see that was clearly bouncing over the top of, in fact, it was probably about 7 feet in the air when it crossed over past the batter. So that's definitely wide. So still 1 legal delivery remaining in the innings, and here it is. Sliced away. There's going to just be 1 run here unless they come back for a second. Coming back for the second, and they make it without much trouble. Look at that. 2 runs off the last ball, 17 runs from the last over, which included a couple of 6s by Hassan Khan, who did so well along with his captain Fawad Alam to get his team in a really strong position. 161 for 6 is the final score. And when we'll see the scorecard, we'll see exactly how the Chicago Kingsmen pull themselves out of obscurity and out of difficulty to get to a powerful position. Kevin Phillip 10 from 23, a bunch of single-digit scores there in the middle. Then Ravi Bopara steadied the ship for a while with his captain. 52 from 26 is what Fawad Alam ended up with, and Hassan Khan 60 from 32. What an absolutely brilliant partnership those two put on. 109 for the 5th wicket. The bowlers, for the most part, did well, but they got taken apart at the end, led there by Akhilesh Bodagam, 4 overs, 3 for 32, but his last over was pretty expensive. And Jaskaran Singh Buttar, 3 for 41, going for over 10 and over. So The match has turned significantly in the last several overs, and it means that after a short break of about 15 minutes, we'll be coming back for the chase fully under the lights, where the Xforia Giants will try to forget about the last 12 or so overs and try to overhaul the total of 162. So we're going dark here for about 15 minutes, and after a few highlights, we'll just go for a short break, then we'll be back for the chase. Join us back here in the next 15 minutes or so. Those have been extras. Oh, edge the 10, go straight to first slip and put down. If you have a bowler who is struggling, Frenetic first over. Jasker and Singh Buttar can bowl much better than that. This is going to be slapped through the offside. The first delivery bowled here by Prasad Patil. Fit that bill. Next delivery, lofted in the air, catchable, running back from mid-on and taking it easily. So Jasker Singh Buttar with both his arms outstretched because he knows that he has just rewarded his captain's faith in him. And look at them point at the number 2, maintain that line and length that he's found the last few deliveries. Knocked him over first ball. Look at that. On a hat trick is Jasker Singh Buttar. Forget about the bowling that you saw in that first over, because now he has gotten it bang on target. Bowling to Syed Ali. Oh, he'll get 4. I'll tell you what, if the man at short fine leg was a little bit finer, he may well have had his hat fielder, because if there's any turn, it will be away from the left-hander. Bowling around the wicket. Oh, he knocked him over. Look at this. That was the arm ball, a quicker arm ball. All of a sudden, the Chicago Kingsmen are wobbling. 3 down, and immediately finding success is Akhilesh Bodhagam. Overs of pace so far. Everything else has been spin. Next delivery, tossed up. Oh, catchable. And another wicket goes. Oh, the easiest of catches. Looking to attack was Kevin Phillips. So you do have some makeup work to do here if you're the Kingsmen. Bodhagam again. In the air and caught. Straightforward catch. The man at the deep backward point, if you will, on the circle. And now in this, the 12th over. Sliced away. That's going to be over the top, and it's going to run away for 4. Fortuitous. I think he was looking to Akhilesh Bodhagam, the tall finger spinner, 2 for 13 so far. That's crashed away. That's a lovely shot. That's going to be 4. That made a really nice sound coming off the bat. Hassan Khan is now striking it above, but no sustained acceleration. They're going to need something along those lines. We'll go through the projected scores again in a second. That's well struck, and that's going to be 4. Oh, yes. Oh, diving attempt by that fielder long off. He did well to get to it, but having gotten to it, was not able to keep it from going over the ropes. That was actually where you'd be looking. I would think that you'd have to be targeting somewhere between 8 and 10 and over from this point on. Oh, that's 6 of the 10, or is it? Yes, goes all the way over the ropes, that deep mid-wicket. A big strike by Hassan Khan, where you'd be looking, I would think, and see how well this pair is able to execute that hit. Hammered over the top of extra cover. Goes deep into his crease, the former Pakistani middle order batter. Hammers that ball away over extra cover for another boundary. Tossed up, and he goes in the same direction again for 4 more. Hit more firmly this time. This one looking to move on. He's now into the 30s. Paddle around the corner for 4 more. Oh my goodness. This is now turning into a run spree. 3 consecutive. Here's the first delivery. Full toss down the leg side for 4. Easy as you like. You're not going to get very many batters out. Stick to his basics. Oh, forcing this off the back foot. That's actually a good delivery. Oh no, I think he stepped on the ball with Udaybir Singh Walia. That is never a comfortable thing to have happen. Strength compared to where they were several deliveries ago. Sus cut away. Bad ball outside off stump. Too far outside. Give him 16 deliveries of the innings. And that's 50 for Fawad Alam. You'll hear the applause. You might be able to hear it in your mics right now. Just forcing that one to mid-wicket. So a really important innings played here by the captain. He has done well. When he came in, his team was struggling, but put together a really good partnership. In fact, he's building right now. The young bowler Udaybir Singh Walia starts out here with a full toss outside off. Needs to be accurate here. Launched down the ground, has plenty of height. How much distance? Not, in fact, it does have enough distance. So that clears long on, and what an important 50 for Hassan Khan. 52, joins his captain at that number, but in much fewer balls. Well bowled by Jaskaran Singh Buttar. Full toss, that's 6. Clipping it over the top, into the stands, over backward square leg. No, than there were a few overs ago. Skied, and this is Harmeet Singh in the covers. He's not going to drop this. He'll take that 10 times out of 10, but the damage has already been done. And here it is. Sliced away. There's going to just be 1 run here unless they come back for a second. Coming back for the second, and they make it without much trouble. Look at that. 2 runs off the last ball, 17 runs from the last over, which included a couple of 6s by Hassan Khan, who did so well along with his captain Fawad Alam to get his team in a really strong position. 161 for 6 is the final score, and when we'll see the scorecard, we'll see Welcome back to the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium in Grand Prairie, Texas. This is the most latest and the most shiny, bright object that we have in the cricket community here in the U.S. Proper cricket stadium. Holds around 7,000. It was a former baseball stadium. The Air Hogs, a AAA baseball team, used to play here several years ago. The MLC, or Major League Cricket, purchased the stadium and converted it into a cricket facility, and it is spectacular. And I think you've seen a really exciting first half of this match, where the Chicago Kingsmen, after having struggled for much of the innings, got a monster partnership from captain Fawad Alam and the young, hard-hitting all-rounder Hassan Khan. Put together 109 runs and brought their team kicking and screaming all the way up to 161. So that means that there is a small target of 162 that the Xforia Giants are going to have to overhaul if they're going to want to have their punch their ticket to success in this match. Once again, this is a 1 versus 6 matchup. The Xforia Giants are the 6th best team in the division, and sitting at the top of the table are the Chicago Kingsmen. So they would have been buoyed by the results of the last several deliveries, and now all of a sudden we're going to see how potent they can be. I will say this, they do have a decent batting attack. I'll go into their batting in just a second. This is Zia-ul Haq with the new ball in hand, bowling to Smith Patel. Driven down the ground, good sliding stop, in fact a half a stop by the fielder at mid-on, and off and running from the very first delivery, Smith Patel. Smith Patel, the former U19 World Cup winning India player. Other teammates on that side would have been his captain, his current captain, Harmeet Singh, and the captain of that side, the U19 side in 2012, Unmuk Chand, who also plays right here in the U.S. So, openers are going to be Chaitanya Bishnoi, who is now on strike, left-hander, and Smith Patel. Smith Patel, who I just spoke about. Chaitanya Bishnoi, former professional first-class player from India, and with the new ball in hand, has already bowled at 1 delivery, is a great former Pakistani fast bowler, left armer, Zia-ul Haq. That one getting good lift, always gets good bounce when he bowls, and he's bowling on a very helpful pitch. I will say that in between innings, I sort of walked out to the pitch and felt the outfield, and there's actually a slight amount of dew that's starting to form. So that means that the ball will come onto the bat a little bit more effectively. The batters will actually like that, and it will make things tricky when you're in the outfield, because, oh, look at this. Oh, trouble here. I think you just saw some evidence of why cricket is different from every other sport. Zia-ul Haq running through to field that ball, got tangled up with Smith Patel, and in theory could have taken a shy at the stumps. Look at this here. There they get tangled up. He trips and falls. Zia-ul Haq could have taken a shot at the stumps. Had he hit, Smith Patel would have been out. But because of the fact that they were tangled up, he chose not to. That's a great piece of sportsmanship. What a great delivery. And it moves away off the seam. And once again, just about the only sport that you'll find where you see one bit of sportsmanship in one delivery, and the very next delivery, the bowler is still trying to knock your head off. But that's why we have this absolutely wonderful game to enjoy. So frenetic starts, a lot of activity, but only 2 runs on the board. Smith Patel on strike, facing up to Zia-ul Haq. Next delivery, short, hammered away for 4. Smith Patel plays that shot, does not run a foot out of the crease because he knows that he was on top of it, and blasted it away in exactly the way that he wanted to. So I started talking about the batting of this lineup. Very powerful batting lineup. Smith Patel is really good. Chaitanya Bishnoi, former first-class player. Ramiz Raja, also former first-class player out of Pakistan. And depending on where he chooses to bat. The captain, Harmeet Singh, is a tremendous striker of the cricket ball. Looking across over towards the dugout area now, I see him in nothing near batting gear. So I think he'll be batting further down the lineup. Yorker drilled and good diving stop by mid-on. So that's going to be a single. So an eventful over. And all of a sudden, from that over, 7 runs are scored. So you're on the way. You're needing 8.16 runs from this stage. That's a good start for the Xforia Giants, chasing 162. They're 7 without loss.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Seven without loss. This is going to be an interesting chase, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. This is Hasib Azam with the new ball in hand, sharing the new ball with Zia-ul Haq. Hasib Azam, right arm over the wicket, bowling now to Smith Patel. Go over where the players outside the circle are. Once again, we're inside the power play, so only 2 allowed outside the circle. There's a fielder at deep third. Put there, I think, for the slash. The short of length delivery outside off stump. If Smith Patel chooses to slash toward or slash, play the slash shot to such a delivery, deep third is there for that exact reason. And then there's a fielder at deep square leg for the short ball into the body. Played off the back foot, so he's going to have to be very careful to keep that length exactly right and cannot bowl anything wide outside the line of off stump for that reason. You're inside the power play, and he started out well here. 3 consecutive dot balls. Hasib Azam, tall right-handed fast bowler. Zia-ul Haq, the tall left-handed fast bowler. So good variety there with regard to the bowlers. 4 dot balls on the trot. This is how you build pressure. This is exactly what you're trying to do as a bowling side. You don't ever want to let the side that is batting feel like they're getting comfortable. The way that you build pressure is by bowling dot balls. A dot ball is a ball that you do not score off of, or that the batting side does not score off of. Now, interestingly, they are bringing deep third inside the circle. That's Zia-ul Haq down there, who was at deep third but is now inside the circle. So that tells me full and straight is what they'll be bowling like. And that's lofted in the air, catchable, and gone. Big wicket. So a plan comes to fruition. Bringing deep third inside the circle almost always means that they're going to be bowling at fuller length. And that length was full, and it was relatively straight. I don't know that he wanted it to be that straight. Clipped away into the deep by Smith Patel. With that fielder at deep square leg, pouching it relatively simply. Look here at the replay. In fact, he was advancing down the wicket just a little bit, trying to get close to the pitch, but well judged by that young man in the deep, and takes a really good catch. So all of a sudden, Hasib Azam is working on a wicket maiden with his first over of the match. This is really good bowling, clean, straightforward catch. And what it means is that you're going to have to manufacture some sort of an opportunity to break the shackles, but you've lost a wicket, so you may be better off just coming out of this over without any more damage. I believe this is Ramiz Raja coming in at 1 down. We'll see exactly who he is as soon as we can. In fact, this is, my apologies, this is Akarshit Gomel, right-handed batter, and will He'll be facing up to Hasib Azam, who again has already taken a wicket with his first his first over and has yet to concede a run. So really good start here with the ball by Hasib Azam. And going on full attack now are the Chicago Kingsmen. You see two slips in position, a gully, short, fine leg, and a man in the covers looking to play this off the back foot. He's lucky that that did not catch an edge. What a brilliant over. No runs coming from that over and taking a wicket. So wicket maiden for the second over of the innings. That's always a good way to start, especially when the team who's batting is looking uphill at a relatively big total. 2 overs gone, the score is 7 for 1.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Ziaul Haq to start his second over, bowling to Chaitanya Bishnoi. Yorker, that is a great delivery. Uh-oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Almost suicidal. Chaitanya Bishnoi trying to take off for really frankly a non-existent run. Got sent back and almost got sold down the river because he just about didn't make it back in time. But look at the replay here. Full defended, starting to run. Then yes, no, yes, barely got back in time as that fielder at backward point was ready to disturb the stumps, but luckily for Chaitanya Bishnoi, he just made it back in time. Whipped away in the deep for 4. So down on one knee, that angle left arm over into the body, and Bishnoi just going down on one knee and slapping it over the top of mid-wicket for his first boundary. So you're going to want to start wresting the initiative away back from the bowling side. And yeah, looking at that replay, just angled into the pads. You can't bowl that line as a left armer bowling. Well, you don't want to bowl at the pads, either left or right-hander, but with that angle from over the wicket slanting down into the pads, that's essentially a free hit for the left-handed batter. And it cashes in here, Chaitanya Bishnoi. Next delivery. Great ball, sails past the outside edge. That is the line that you want to bowl as a left-handed to a left-hand batter. And that's going to be so much like what you're going to want to bowl as a left-hander bowling to a left-armer bowling to left-handed batter. That line has to be on off stump going away. There's a little bit of swing, and that swing is taking it away from the left-hander. So you want it to be on off stump going away. Next delivery. Looks for the drive. Again, that line. Once he bowls the right line, Ziaul Haq is going to be very difficult to get away because that ball is swinging away. Here we see on the replay again. Look at that first slip in position, ready for that outside edge, for the ball that catches the outside edge, and there you see it curling away at the last minute. This is excellent bowling by Ziaul Haq. And so what I would do if I were Fawad Alam, I'd put an extra slip in there just to play on the mind of Chaitanya Bishnoi. Oh my goodness, flash, and was that off the edge? It's fumbled, and they'll get 2 runs. Here's a throw coming to the striker's end. In fact, no, there's a signal from umpire Samir Bandekar. That was actually not an edge. It was just a loose delivery that was not loose. It was a great delivery, but not collected cleanly by the keeper. Look at that ball, my goodness. Pitch. In fact, that one didn't swing away as much as seamed away. Angled in and then pitched and took off, bouncing over the batter and not collected cleanly by the keeper. So 2 byes run. Here's the last ball of the over, and thuds into the pad. What a brilliant over by Ziaul Haq. 6 runs coming from it, but the second delivery was hammered away for 4. But after that, the next 4 were essentially unplayable. 6 coming from the third. The score is 13 for 1.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Starting with the fourth over, the second over being bowled by Hasib Azam, 1 over, and his 1 over was a wicket maiden, so he's done well. And it's certainly not too early to start thinking about projected scores and the comparison between the required rate and the actual rate. Right now, they need to score the Xforia Giants at the rate of 8.85 and over. Yes, no, but just a split second there, you thought that short fine leg might have had a shot at, had he fielded cleanly and thrown to the stumps, he might have had a shy at the stumps, but they run through for a single. So with that single, the current run rate is now 4.2. You see that at the bottom of your screen. At 4.2, by the way, I just realized that the bottom of your screen may not be exactly accurate. The score right now is 14 for 1. But the current run rate just coincidentally is the same as what you see on the board right now, even though it's not accurate. The overall scorecard isn't accurate. But 14 for 1, which means they need another 148 runs, and they need to score them in 100 balls. So they need to be scoring at the rate of 8.88 runs and over. So it's going to continue getting more and more difficult. Keep an eye on this. Hasib Azam, well played, just running it down with soft hands, past slip. One slip fielder in position there. And doing well with soft hands, Chaitanya Bishnoi to get it running down to deep third for a single. So in many ways, pay attention to when and how the Xforia Giants pace their innings. When do they choose to be aggressive? When do they choose to go after the runs? And it's going to be, I guess, the story within the story, because you're not batting first, you're batting second. So you know exactly what target you have, you know what your batting resources are, and you are able to judge when to go after the runs. So it's going to be something to pay attention to. How systematic are they, and to what extent do they shift through the gears? I suspect that if they have wickets in hand, they can be a lot more free. So I think you'll see these two be a lot more careful and not take very many chances. Looks to chase this one a little too far outside. Umpire Partha Patanaik request that you bowl that one over. So it's going to be something to continue paying attention to. This is going to be an interesting chase. I started to mention about the batting prowess. I already talked about Chaitanya Bishnoi. Unfortunately for the Giants, Smith Patel is back in the pavilion, but you still have Ramiz Raja. Played off the back foot for no run. Ramiz Raja is still there at the wicket right now. This pair is good, Akarsha Gomel and Chaitanya Bishnoi. And then the #1 pick in the Major League Cricket draft in March. Draft that took place about 280 miles south of where we are right now in Clear Lake, south of Houston. The #1 pick in that draft was Harmeet Singh, the captain of the Xforia Giants. And he is not only a brilliant bowler and an excellent fielder, but a really good hard-hitting batter who can come in and play with reckless abandon. Difficult delivery there, couldn't keep it down, but I think that might have just come off the thigh pad, bouncing in the air. But another really good over. 3 runs coming from that over for Hasib Azam. His second over is almost quite as miserly as his first. 1 for 3 are his figures from 2, and at the end of 4, the score is 16 for 1.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
This is the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship 2023. And there is a change in bowling coming from the southern end of the ground. This is going to be the theater end, as we refer to it here at the Grand Prairie Cricket Field. This is going to be Hassan Khan. You saw what he did with the bat. And now trying to do something equally good for his side with the ball. So after a bit of technological hiccup, I'm glad that you have on your screen again what the accurate score is. Dallas Xforia Giants 16 for 1 with one delivery bowled in the 5th. Going off the back foot, that's a good diving stop at backward point. That saves 3 runs because that easily could have been carried all the way for 4. Once again, we're still inside the power play. So with the second delivery in the 5th over having been bowled, that means that there's 10 deliveries left in the power play. After those 10 deliveries have been bowled, then the field can be spread out. So you can expect that the scoring rate will slow down a little bit. It will dip, but it doesn't have much further to dip because the current run rate is only 3.92. So from that run rate, you really want to see as many runs as you can get in the next several deliveries, because after that you can be a lot more defensive with your field settings if you're the Kingsmen. And so it's going to be up to the Xforia Giants to do as much as they can to sort of manufacture whatever runs that they're able to, because from this point on it's going to be really difficult to score runs, especially when you're out of the power play. The back foot, that should just be 1. Do they come back for a second? Nope, they don't. Not going to run on Saad Ali. Saad Ali very athletic in the outfield and sprints across, even though he's a right-hander, and he would have had to run around that ball to throw with his right hand, to pick up and throw with his right hand. It's a more difficult throw from that standpoint, but Saad Ali, the extent to which he attacked that ball meant that there was not going to be a chance for any sort of run out, because they're not going to run on his arm. So that's good work on his part. Using his feet really well, getting down the wicket, but again driving it on 1 bounce to Saad Ali. So just 1 ball remaining here in over number 5. And this is good economical bowling by Hassan Khan. And now Hassan Khan knows that with 1 ball remaining, he's a left arm spinner and he's bowling to the right-handed Akarshit Gomel. Gomel 2 from 8, so he has not yet gotten going. Here's the next delivery, pushing it through more quickly, and it's clipped into the outfield for a single. Good economical over. Anytime your spinner can come on in the 5th over and only concede 4 runs, you know that's a good thing. Another 90 balls remaining, another 142 runs to get. That required rate is getting more and more difficult for the Xforia Giants. End of 5, we are 20-for-1.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
$20-for-1 after 5 overs. And this new bowler is going to be Tajinder Singh. Oh, that did not go where Akashit Gomel was trying to play it. He may get 4 for it. In fact, he does get 4. He was looking to play that through mid-wicket. Thick under edge. Could have hit any one of the 3 stumps. Luckily for him, Akashit Gomel, it goes just maybe shaves past that leg stump there. Oh my goodness. See Tajinder Singh put his hand on his head because that easily could have gone onto the stumps. But he gets 4 bonus runs for it. A very welcome boundary, and that's his first 4. Works this off the back foot much more confidently, but only for a single here. So Tajinder Singh, the opening batter, hard-hitting opening batter, but here he's now looking to do his thing with the ball. And he's now going to be bowling to the left-handed Chaitanya Bishnoi. Bishnoi 8 from 12. Gomel 8 from 11. So both batters are relatively early in their innings. Both have a lot of work to do because that required rate is getting to the point where it's starting to climb. And bear in mind, again, just 4 balls remaining in the power play. So in the next 4 deliveries, only 2 fielders allowed outside the circle. But after that, oh, look at that delivery. Quicker ball, barehanded pickup. Not a good throw, actually. And that barehanded pickup, if that throw had been more accurate, that's Ali Samad who's in fielding at backward point. Had that been a clean pickup and throw, that might have been a little bit of difficulty, but they'll get a single. But you only have 3 deliveries left now to take advantage of these power play overs. You see here on the replay, ball bouncing a little bit on Chaitanya Bishnoi. Lofted down the ground over the top of that fielder at mid-off. So good shot by Akashit Gomel, knowing that that fielder at mid-off was inside the circle, and he just lofts it down the ground. Easily struck over the top of that fielder at mid-off, my apologies. And that is his second boundary. So Akashit Gomel, 1 fortuitous boundary in this over so far, and then 1 well struck. So, excuse me, 2 balls remaining. Off the back foot, work down here, and that goes all the way for 6. Okay, so somebody's gotten the memo that we need to start accelerating a little bit. 16 from the over so far with 1 to come. And looking at the overall run rate, that overall run rate is now 6.17. You're going to need to have that run rate be 8.89. So you've certainly made steps in that direction here in the last couple of deliveries. And this has worked into the deep. They may come back for a second. Yes, touching down and running. Chaitanya Bishnoi gets there without much trouble. Good running on his part. He was running to the danger end, but a really productive over. Easily the most productive of the innings so far. The 6th over, final over of the power play, goes for 18. I mentioned that they might want to start to take advantage of the last few deliveries of the power play. Well, they did exactly that. Akashit Gomel up to 20 from 14. The score is 38 for 1.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
More spin, Hassan Khan to continue. As a reminder, this is the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. Lakshmi is the official partner of Minor League. Brew is Minor League Cricket's cricket for the community partner. And Minor League Cricket's outdoor partner is Dolphin Media. Hassan Khan with a huge contribution with the bat. And he's now going to be asked by his captain, Fawad Alam, to do something similar with the ball. Left arm over the wicket, bowling it into the left-hander. First ball is just played into the onside for a single. So Bishnoi now 9, make that 10 from 14. Akashit Gomel 20 from 14. So Gomel scoring exactly at double the strike rate of Bishnoi. And bearing in mind keeping in mind what the two target numbers are, the required rate and the actual rate. Oh, split second. You thought that Akarshit Gomel was going to go after that, but it ended up changing his mind. And good that he didn't, because it spun away enough for Samir Bandeker to adjudge it to have been a wide. So you get an extra ball and you get an extra run. That definitely helps you when you're chasing a big total. Through the offside, that's just going to be a single. It's a good piece of, a straightforward piece of fielding, but comfortably. That's Abhimanyu Paswal, U19 player. In fact, Abhimanyu Paswal is who took that catch earlier, who I did not acknowledge. So well done by that young man. Bishnoi, 10 from 14 back on strike. Quicker delivery in the air, catchable. The simplest of decisions, the simplest of dismissals that you'll see. Looking to force the action. Boy, that one essentially became one of the more easy wickets that Hassan Khan will have ever taken, because it was a quicker delivery. Chaitanya Bishnoi trying to force it off the back foot, trying to clear mid-wicket, but that ball rushed onto him. And instead of coming off the middle of the bat, it simply just spooned up in the air for the simplest of catches. And you see there on the replay, you'll never get an easier catch than that at this level of cricket. Pretty straightforward catch. And Ravi Bopara, who has played cricket for, dozens and dozens of years probably. Well, maybe not dozens of years, but player for a really long time. Once again represented England, and these days plays for the Chicago Kingsmen. But he's not dropping that catch. And so 40 for 2 is now, let's make that 41 for 2 is now the score. I tell you, you may have the situation developing here where there may be a little bit of panic settling into the side. And in fact, it appears as though the captain has promoted himself. So this appears to be Harmeet Singh. So this is a twist in the tail that I was not expecting. Harmeet Singh usually bats further down the order, probably because of the presence of Hassan Khan, who is a really good finger spinner, left-handed finger spinner. But since he's a finger spinner, he bowls, he turns the ball into the left-handed batter. So maybe Harmeet Singh is looking to take advantage of that. And you see him immediately check over his right shoulder. So he'll be looking to go big on the leg side, you would think. He's putting himself, I think, in a bit of a pinch-hitting role here, Harmeet Singh. And that's well played. Good delivery. Just keeping it just out of Harmeet Singh's reach. Harmeet Singh is an absolutely brilliant striker of the cricket ball. He's not very big physically, but he's very well built and very wiry and packs a lot of punch. So I'm thinking that's why he brought himself in. That was a full toss. That might have just surprised Harmeet Singh. Wasn't expecting a juicy full toss. I suspect if he gets that ball again, he'll do something different with it. One ball remaining here, as it is going to be Akarshit Gomel, who's 21 from 15. Will be looking to see off what has been a successful over for Hassan Khan. Hassan Khan, 5 deliveries bowled in this over so far. 1 ball to come, and has already taken 1 for 8. So really good figures by him so far. Off the back foot, should just be a single. Down here to Abhimanyu Paswal. That is the end of the over. A successful over. A twist in the tail, as I said, because I did not expect the captain to come in when he did. We'll see how well he does. He has the ability. Let's see what he does from here. 43 for 2 after 7.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Yeah, and go down into others, right? Equal mode.
Two after 7. Of course, you can find Minor League Cricket on all of the social media channels or apps, if you will. specifically, if you wanted to provide any follow through, or my apologies, any feedback is what I meant, feel free to find us on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at MILC or at MIL Cricket. Always just search Minor League Cricket on Twitter. Have anything to say on there, just hashtag us and we will see it and we'll respond. And especially since I'm flying solo today, anything that you can do to help me communicate would be very helpful. Always difficult to commentate solo. So any assistance that I can get from you all, any contributions will be more than welcomed. And if you're listening and have a question about the sport, maybe you're a new fan and need clarification on anything, any aspect of the game, or anything else that's on your mind related to the sport, be happy to field those for you. Just go to at MIL Cricket and find us on Twitter. In the meantime, this is Tajinder Singh into his second over, 3 deliveries in. Make that 2 deliveries in. This is the third. Hammered down the ground, but again, we're out of the power play now, so it makes things difficult to score runs because you can put more fielders in the deep. And with the ability to put fielders in the deep, the regulation is as long as you have 4 inside the circle, that's all that you'll need. 4 inside the circle would essentially mean that there's 5 outside, and those 5 are in the deep as you'd expect. Harmeet Singh off the back foot. That's Paswal coming off the boundary. He's fielded in that position the entirety of the innings. So doing it in singles, I don't necessarily mind doing it in singles as long as you pay attention to what the required rate is. The required rate now up to 9.32. And so if you keep it around that 9, maybe up even as much as that 10, this is lofted in the deep. Work for Abhimanyu Paswal to do and not going to be able to get there. Bounces just before the rope. And so there's, you see the signal there from umpire Partha Patanaik. It goes for 4. But if you simply just keep picking up 1s and 2s, and then when you get the opportunity, if you get one that's slanted into the pads like that one is and you cash in, that's sort of the formula to win. You don't need to score all remaining 111 runs at the same time. And that's in the gap. That's going to be 4 more. That's well played. So you'll get bad balls to cash in on. So if you are rooting for the Dallas Xforia Giants, this is right in line with what your approach needs to be. 12 from the over. Here you see this one just a little too short. And in fact, it was the length was okay. The line is what was the problem. It was too far outside off. And that allowed Akarshit Gomel to go down on one knee and sweep that away. So that's the end of over number 8. 12 coming from that over. Really productive over. The score is 55 for 2.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So an interesting matchup here as Fawad Alam takes the ball. He wants to challenge his opposite number directly. So Fawad Alam, known more obviously as a batter, but he bowls decent left arm spin. It's interesting that he brings himself on to bowl to Harmeet Singh. And as I said already, Harmeet Singh hits big, and if there's any turn from the left arm spinners, it would be into Harmeet Singh. So he'll be looking to cash in here, I would think. Plays this one back down the ground too. The bowler himself will field for no run. So this is an interesting matchup. Once again, sort of the game within the game. Not one of the primary bowlers, Fawad Alam. So looking to change things. This is lofted in the air, and this is going to carry all the way over the fence. And I think I may have to help out with the ball here. In fact, we'll get back to that for just a second, because Sada Ali down here at the boundary is going to be the one who comes in to the stands to retrieve that ball. When Harmeet Singh bowls to or faces the left-handed spinner, that's what I'm expecting to happen. He hits big down the ground, so any amount of turn is going to be helping that type of shot. So you just saw the replay there on your screen, and it went miles in the air, but Harmeet Singh, I think, making exactly the contact that he was looking to make. And that type of shot is what you expect to see from Harmeet Singh. Here you see on the you see that close up. He's batting on an off stump with an off stump guard, so he's looking to go away on the leg side. It's well bowled by Fawad Alam. It's outside the off stump. Anything that is tossed up, Harmeet Singh is going to be looking to do what he just did on that last ball. So anything that is pushed through at pace, he'll force it down the ground. That's where you get your ones and twos. But if you give him the cheese, if you put the bait out there, he's more than capable of swinging for the fences, if you will. So that's something to pay attention to. So a little bit of a game within the game, as I said. Short and launched into the deep. That might hit the scorecard, the scoreboard rather. In fact, it is out of the stadium. What a strike by Akarshit Gomel. Literally hit it out of the stadium. And unfortunately, we're going to need a replacement ball. He absolutely launches this one, goes onto the back foot, and the decision made by Fawad Alam to bring himself on and bowl is not working out the way that he anticipated, I don't think. 2 balls remaining in the over. Look at this replay, just dropping it too short and just opening up his body, clearing the front foot, and into the Dallas Knight that ball goes. You're not getting that ball back unless you're driving across the parking lot and see it out there sometime tomorrow. And once again, a bit of a delay as we're looking for replacement balls. That might just give us a little bit of time to go through. I have just been corrected. There is a street out there. It's not a car park. Nagesh, please forgive me. Forgive me, as they say. Forgive me all over the place. Look at this comparison. When the Chicago Kingsmen batted, and there you see the over by over. Look at the red buildings, if you will. That over number 6 went for 18, and a couple of big overs after that. Over number 8 goes for 12, and so far in over number 9, we're up to 13 runs. So, bearing in mind that towards the back end of the innings, the Chicago Kingsmen accelerated beautifully. And there you see the worm, as we refer to this graphic. If you are the Kingsmen, you want the red worm to stay below the blue worm. And if you are obviously the Xforia Giants, you want that red worm to continue climbing above the blue worm, because that essentially is the representation of how quickly you're going towards your targets. But if you bring yourself on to bowl as Fawad Alam did, there's something that you would have seen that you identify as an opportunity. But I think he bowled entirely too full and tossed up too much to Harmeet Singh, got hit for 6, and then absolutely dropped one too short to Akarshit Gomel, who absolutely jumped all over it. Akarshit Gomel now 38 from 21, Harmeet Singh 9 from 7. This pair is more than capable of hurting you. And again, you have some more batting to come in the form of Ramiz Raja and everybody else down the lineup who can wield a bat. So this game is nowhere near over. The run rate is now up to 7.85. You need to score at the rate of 8.29, but you get the sense that if the Xforia Giants keep doing what they're doing, they can at least get close. This is driven down the ground. This is a better delivery. That's the length that you want to be bowling for your Fawad Alam. And just 1 ball remaining now in over number 9. You're down to the last 67 balls of the innings. You need 93 runs. Fawad Alam has to close out strongly here. And I believe that if you're Harmeet Singh, you're going to be swinging for the fences, because I don't think that Fawad Alam is going to bring himself on for another over, because having gone for 14 and 5, I think he'll leave the rest of the bowling to the bowlers who made the side as bowlers. This is well bowled though. Drop behind point and they run through for a single. So 15 runs coming from the over. Once again, I don't think that's what Fawad Alam had in mind when he brought himself on. This is an intriguing game and it's getting more and more interesting. 9 up, the score is 70 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So 9 overs done, 70 for 2. And this is a gentleman we spoke about earlier, Ravi Bopara, the former English international, and he's now going to be bowling his medium pace deliveries to Harmeet Singh. This is going to be an interesting matchup. And this could go one of two ways. You could get a whole ton of runs here. You get the sense that either end of the spectrum is what you'll get. Either a lot of runs or he's going to take a wicket. Because Harmeet Singh, I don't think, is going to relax and just absorb deliveries bowled by a change bowler. I think he promoted himself for a reason, and he's going to be continuing to attack. Gets beaten on the outside off stump here. Now this is interesting. Get some good information from our friends at Major League Cricket. Tom Nielsen and the great Nate Hayes. Coming into tonight, Hassan Khan was first in the league in impact per match batting. And in fact, tonight is the first time he's actually gotten out. And 11th in the league impact per bowling, or impact bowling, minimum of 12 overs. And I think I agree with Nate Hayes that Hassan Khan is very much in the running as an MVP candidate. Played into the deep for a single. So he's first in the league in batting impact, meaning runs above the average player in that same situation, and 11th in the league in bowling impact. So it's not a surprise that Hassan Khan is performing as well as he has. Tonight is the first time that he's gotten out, and in fact he got out in the last over when all the damage had already been done. My goodness, this is good stuff being sent by Nate Hayes and Tom Nielsen. Thank you guys. As much of that as I can get, I'll appreciate. Good delivery here by Ravi Bopara. 3 deliveries bowled already in the 10th over. So very effective change of bowlers. But bear in mind, each of these represents a scoring opportunity that you're not being able to take advantage of. So at some point, the dam has to break. I think you're going to eventually have to go after Ravi Bopara. Oh, he was certainly looking for it there, Karshik Gomel. And that's just a single down to deep mid-wicket. So bearing in mind where you are, looking at what the situation is, you have another 62 balls remaining and you have 90 runs to get. So these two numbers, you're going to want those two numbers to start coming closer and closer together if you're the Xforia Giants. Harmeet Singh, I think, will have something up his sleeve in the last 2 balls of this over. And so Ravi Bopara, of course, very experienced, would have seen all sorts of situations, would have been in all sorts of situations. But Harmeet Singh, I think, is going to go after him at some point. Nope, does not go after him here. Thought that might have been a drivable ball, but chooses to instead defend it. So 1 ball remaining before we get to the halfway stage of the innings. We're coming close to a photo finish, one gets the sense, because the Xforia Giants have 8 wickets in hand, and you're going at this point after 8.85 runs and over, but you're setting yourself up for a launch, I think. It feels like. And there's just defended a very good over under the circumstances. I thought he would have gone after Ravi Bopara. Harmeet Singh does not do it. So only conceding 2 runs in that over. What a brilliant over from Ravi Bopara. We're halfway through the innings. We're 3/4 of the way through the match. And the Dallas Xforia Giants chasing 162 are 72 for 2.
What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Last 10 overs, 72 for 2 is the score. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an absolutely beautiful stadium. And if you were here 3 or 2 months ago, you would have had to pay an exorbitant amount of money to come see Major League Cricket. But you can see the exact same field and some of them, in fact, many of the same players playing here for nothing more than what it costs you to walk into the stadium. There is no cost in watching these matches, so to whatever extent you're able, please come down and watch. And you just saw there on the screen a picture of some of the fans who are here watching. Going back to Zia-ul-Haq, the fast bowling left armer, looking to break this partnership because I think they sense that something is building here. Akarshit Gomel, 40 from 24 with 4 fours and 2 sixes. The required run rate, we can do this math, 90 runs needed in 10 overs. You need 9 and over. Driven down the ground, but there is coverage in the deep, and in fact that's good work by the captain himself, Fawad Alam, and keeps that damage to 1 run. So the required rate is now back above 9. It's at 9.05. I suggested that if you keep wickets in hand, you can be somewhere around 9, 10 and over as a target going into the final, say 6 or 7 overs. You can overhaul that type of score if you have wickets in hand. And this pair is going well. Score is now 73 for 2, and they came together when the score was, we'll get back to that in a second after this delivery. Yorker, but goes down the leg side. That's going to be wide. They came together when the score was 41 for 2. So they've now gone with, the partnership is now worth 32 runs, in fact 33 with that wide, so it's 74 for 2. So time will tell whether this partnership will be as productive as the partnership between Fawad Alam and Hassan Khan. But Zia-ul-Haq has other things in mind here. Short delivery, tries the pull, and that goes past Harmeet Singh. Attempted pull, looking to see whether or not this was a short ball above shoulder height. And Partha Patanaik does not think it was, and Harmeet Singh is not happy. So to explain that, every over, for 1 over, 1 ball per over, a fast bowler or bowler for that matter is allowed to bowl a ball that bounces shoulder height or above, but it's shoulder height from a normal standing position. Short ball outside off, that's going to be a wide, and I believe this one will be adjudged a short ball above shoulder height. There is a signal from umpire. In fact, was it? Not sure it was. No, it was certainly signaled a wide. It was a signal a wide based on the line, but it probably was not a short ball based on height. So once again, if it's a short ball that bounces above the waist or above the height of a batter who's standing in a normal standing position, it's considered to be the 1 short ball for the over that you're allowed to bowl. Any more short balls that bounce above shoulder height after that are judged to be a no ball. So that's why Harmeet Singh is so unimpressed with that not having been adjudged a short ball above shoulder height, because he wants every advantage that he can or that he can get. But so far this is good bowling by Zia-ul-Haq, being reintroduced into the attack. And what he's going to try to do now with this these final 3 balls is just keep the damage down. Big drive outside the line of off stump. And to the extent that Harmeet Singh is now starting to feel that A, he's been there long enough, and B, he's starting to run out of balls. 56 balls remaining, another 87 runs to get. So there's a big 31 gap, a gap of 31 between balls and runs. You want to start closing that gap. And so Harmeet Singh, you get the sense, is going to start swinging for the fences. If not recklessly, at least looking to be much more aggressive. And they're switching the field now as Ravi Bopara dropping back to deep mid-wicket and deep fine leg coming inside the circle. Looking to go straight. I think wanted to play that through the offside, get a thick outside edge, and it runs down to deep third for a single. But 4 runs from the over, even with a couple of wides, just 4 runs from the over already with just 1 ball to come. And once again, that required rate hovering around 9 is now 9.38. 55 balls remaining, 86 runs needed. And you want the gap between those 2 numbers to close. Looking there in your picture, the white hat, I believe, is Athar Naki, who's a father of young. Oh, get back to that just a second. That's clipped into the deep. That's going to be at least 2, you think? Yep, coming back easily for the second. So 2 runs to close things out here in the 11th. But it is starting to get to the point where you're going to see Harmeet Singh, I think, start looking to accelerate. He's now 12 from 16, but this is Harmeet Singh time. 84 for 2 after 11.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
$78 for 2. We're down to our last 54 balls. This is Ravi Bopara again. Harmeet Singh slapping this one down in the deep to mid-wicket for a single. And if Ravi Bopara got away with an over that only conceded 2 runs the first time, I think it's going to be Harmeet Singh's mission to make sure that he doesn't bowl another economical over in that fashion again. Because once again, you're now looking at 53 balls remaining, 83 runs needed, and you're going to need to start closing the gap between those 2 numbers if you're Harmeet Singh. Bopara now bowling to Akarshit Gomel, 43 from 26. In the air, but straight to Abhimanyu Paswal. Just a single. So good start to the over. 2 runs, 2 singles. You accept singles if you are the Kingsmen, because obviously if the rate that you need to score at is above 6, then each single puts you further away from your target. I strongly suspect that Harmeet Singh is going to be eyeing that gap between long on and mid-wicket, and I don't believe that he, as I said a second ago, I don't think he's going to let another 2-run over from Ravi Bopara be what happens here. He's going to be looking big. Still another 82 runs required, and you're not even halfway there yet. You only have 80 runs, and you're only with 52 balls remaining. So he's going to, something is going to have to give sometime soon. And Ravi Bopara, I think, is going to be finding somebody attacking him. Oh! Exactly where he was looking for that big shot in that same gap I just mentioned, but missing out. Ravi Bopara, again, not a frontline bowler, but he's been around long enough. You see on the replay here coming, keeping that ball just out of the hitting zone. Oh, just that length that is just out of the reach of Harmeet Singh. Another foot of length and Harmeet Singh would have pounced all over that, but Ravi Bopara doing well so far. 3 balls remaining here in over number 12. Oh, reaches forward, sort of gets a thick under edge. They'll get a single. It has to be said, this is really good bowling by Ravi Bopara. He's genuinely trying to, or Harmeet Singh is genuinely trying to get after him. From 19, Harmeet Singh generally strikes it at much higher than a run a ball. So to have him with that strike rate and only 1/6 so far. I suspect that he promoted himself to be able to accelerate the scoring rate. Hasn't been able to do it just yet. Akashit Gomel, 44 from 27, is now on strike. Hammered straight, but straight to long on. I believe that is, in fact, that is just a single down the ground. So, 1 ball remaining. And as said, I didn't think that Ravi Bopara was going to get away with another miserly over. Well, I was wrong, because with 1 ball remaining, he still has only conceded 4 runs in this over. And Harmeet Singh, you would have to think, is looking to cash in big on this last ball. Down the ground, straight, and 6. Effortless strike. Absolutely effortless. Not much flourish in that shot. Just almost like an elevated on drive. And the first time it lands is on the terrace beyond the sight screen over at long on. So that's a brilliant strike to close things out here in the 12th. Looking at that replay again, look at this. Very little follow through. There. Just almost like a golf stroke. Just elevated that on drive, and the first time it lands is on the terrace. So that closes out more along the lines of what I'd be looking for from Harmeet Singh the rest of the way. 10 from that over. The score is 88 for 2.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Well, Hassan Khan, who Nate Hayes appears to believe is an MVP candidate, and I have not seen anything tonight to disagree with that assertion. Then again, I don't make it a habit of disagreeing with Nate Hayes. Hassan Khan is back into the attack. Forces this one off the back foot. That's going to be square of the wicket plus wall. Good piece of fielding on the boundary. And that's just a single. So 2 overs bowled by Hassan Khan. 1 for 9 are his figures. So very economical. And more importantly, I think you're going to want to see another tight over here. I don't know that you want to necessarily expect to have him take a wicket, but after that 10-run over, you're going to want to see something in the range of 5 or 6 runs coming from this next over. But of course, as a left-arm spinner bowling to the big-hitting left-handed Harmeet Singh will have other ideas. And I suspect that we may have catching practice right here in the commentary area. Oh, going deep, but that's going to be in the gap and goes for 4. So getting that one a little bit too straight, I think Hassan Khan pushing it through at pace. Didn't toss this one up, but the line I think is going down the leg stump. And when that happens, you give Harmeet Singh the opportunity to get to score in that area. There you see, yeah, definitely going down the leg stump. And Harmeet Singh just taking advantage, piercing that gap expertly between the fielder at mid-wicket and the fielder at cow corner. Make that mid-wicket and square leg. So here it goes again. In the air, and that's going to go for 6. Oh, he hammers this one. My goodness, you cannot bowl that length. That length, Harmeet Singh will absolutely make mincemeat of. And if you allow a batter like him to go onto the back foot, you cannot have him go onto the back foot as a spinner. And there, landing short, and Harmeet Singh just onto the back foot in a flash. And the first time that hits, it's in the 7th row of section 108, which is not a good thing if you're a bowler. So 3 delivers remaining, 11 runs from the over already. And Harmeet Singh starting to do what I suspected that he might when he came in. Next delivery, fires it through more quickly, under edge, and he may get a couple runs here. No, just 1. And that's forward alarm, making sure that even at his age, he still sprints well enough to prevent those runs from coming. In fact, there's a signal from umpire Bandeka that was a leg by. So Run to the total. I don't think it will matter much to Harmeet Singh how those runs come. 12 from the over with 2 still to come. And that brings up the 100, by the way. So only another 62 remaining. And that required rate down to 8.45. Oh, that's a well bowled delivery. That length is more what you're looking for from your spin bowler. Bowling to the right-hander. And just one ball remaining. I don't think you'll see him toss anything else up because I think he realizes that these two are starting to push through. In fact, he did toss it up, and that's why I didn't think he would toss it up, because we have another lost ball situation. This is launched out of the ground once again into the adjoining street. 6 runs to close things out in over number 13. 18 coming from that over. And Hassan Khan was bowling well, but this one he tosses up, and he should not have tossed it up because Akarshit Gomel will do what he did, and that's lofted into the ground, into the parking lot. And once again, by the way, that brings up Akarshit Gomel's 50. 6 to close things out in over number 13. Another 56 needed from 42 balls. This game just got closer. 106 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So here you have it. Look at the red skyscrapers next to the blue skyscrapers. The reds were very low at first, and now look at how they have started accelerating. That last over going for 18, and that's, let's say, that ties for the highest number of runs so far per over, I mean. And then look at the red worm that is now consistently staying above the blue worm. So at this exact same stage, the Kingsmen only had 72 runs on the board. The Xforia Giants now have 106. Bearing in mind that the Kingsmen put their foot down on the gas and accelerated tremendously towards the back end of the innings. So bear that in mind as you look at the difference in scores. But it is an undeniable fact that at the same stage, after 13 overs, the Kingsmen had 72 runs on the board, and it's now that the Giants have 106. So they're well ahead of the pace from that standpoint. And one gets the sense that if this pair stays there, then the heavy lifting will have already been done. And if they bat all the way through, they win this easily. You get the sense that the Xforia Giants need to lose wickets for the Kingsmen to get back inside this game. So, back live, and this is going to be Ravi Bopara again. Bowling over number 3. His 2 overs have been very economical. 2 overs, 12 runs. And we'll see how he does to Harmeet Singh here, because Harmeet Singh, one thinks, is on a mission. There he goes into the deep, and that's going to be in the stands. First bounce, row 18. My goodness, down on one knee and dragging that one probably from an off-stump line, but it sails away over the top of mid-wicket for yet another 6. So here's Ravi Bopara again. Let's see where the line is. Yes, in fact, right on, aimed at off-stump. And Harmeet Singh planting that front foot and swiping it away, smiting it away over mid-wicket for yet another 6. Ladies and gentlemen, this game just got that much closer. They're only 50 runs away from victory with 41 balls to go. So, bearing in mind that they were behind the 8 ball for much of this innings, they've come roaring back here. And this is squeezed through the outside. They'll go for a quick single, and they'll get there easily as Fawad Alam is a little late picking up. in the covers. In fact, that was a very well judged single, because to the extent that there's no way that you can just hit fours and sixes, you're going to have to find ways to score additionally, and that was a really well judged single. So 113 runs on the board, another 49 needed. You need to get them in 40 balls. But the pendulum has swung dramatically toward the direction of the Giants in the last few overs. In the air, should be two if they run hard. I think they'll get there easily. Here comes Harmeet Singh. This is good running. Excellent cricket. And again, you manufacture runs in a number of ways. You can hit it into the parking lot, or you can punch it into the gap and run quickly for twos. And the Xforia Giants are showing really good evidence that they can do both equally well. Here's Bopara again. Next delivery, quicker through the air, and that's hammered over extra cover. One bounce, four. My goodness, the onslaught continues. Akarshit Gomel is now up to 58. That was well struck, and that true. My apologies. He's up to 50. Yeah, he's up to 58 from 33. Too wide from Rafi Bopara. In fact, that was just inside the wide line, and at that length, if you're going to bowl that wide, it has to be Yorker length to have it maybe squeeze off the outside edge. But at that length, you're going to go for runs. And now here he is again. Lofted straight down the ground, at least two, and it goes for four. Oh, the runs are flowing now. 17 from over number 14 with one ball to go. 18 came from over number 13. 10 came from over number 12. You're absolutely on the charge if you are the Xforia Giants. And it takes a lot to pull things back, because now I think you may have just overplayed your hand by having Ravi Bopara bowl an extra over. Here's the last ball of his over. Quick outside the line of off, and adjudged wide by umpire Partha Patanaik. So 18 from the over so far, with one ball still to come. Remember, an over is 6 legal deliveries. So this is now an extra ball being bowled by Ravi Bopara. And let's see where this goes from here. Down the ground again. That's going to be 4 more. An expensive over. 22 runs coming from the over. The 14th over becomes the most expensive of the innings so far. Only another 34 runs needed in the last 36 balls. Would you believe that at this point the number of runs remaining has been surpassed by the number of balls remaining? Straight down the ground, 2 straight for Saad Ali at mid-on to get there. And after 14, a really productive over comes to an end for the Xforia Giants. The score is 128 for 2.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Ziaul Haq back into the attack to bowl his last over. That's knocked down the ground for a single. This is Saad Ali. Ziaul Haq so far 3.1 overs, none for 18. And ladies and gentlemen, apologies for my having misspoke a couple of deliveries ago. Runs needed 33, balls remaining 35. So the number of balls is more than the number of runs needed. Nagesh, thank you for the correction. And anyway, so 129 runs are on the board, still 2 wickets down. So this is a monster partnership. Short of length, played off the back foot down to deep third for a single. So you can do it in singles from this stage. The required rate is less than a run a ball, 5.65 and over. And so to the extent that you've already accumulated several runs in the middle overs, you are in the position now where you can do it in singles. So that presents a problem if you're the Kingsmen, because it's difficult to stop singles, but if you try to stop singles, you open yourself up for boundaries. So you're going to see, I think, more than, and by the way, bearing in mind that this pair came together when the score was 41 for 2. So they are now working on an 89-run partnership. So this is absolutely brilliant batting by this pair. Bishnoi was dismissed for 10, but since then, Harmeet Singh come to the wicket 38 from 26, and Akarshit Gomel 67 from 36. So together they put on 89 runs, and Zia-ul Haq is now going to have to be straining to take a wicket. You would think short, pulled away into the deep, but there's protection there. That's just one run. That's well bowled in the sense that he had Abhimanyu Pasval right on the boundary at square leg, but you don't get the sense that he'll bowl that type of delivery much more often, because Harmeet Singh is more than capable of pouncing on those short deliveries. And in fact, the man who is now facing is on 67 from 36. So he's going to have to be very accurate with what he bowls here. Another short ball. This has to be a wide. There's the wide signaled. And once again, if that delivery bounces above the head of the batter when he is not in his batting stance but in his normal standing position, it's adjudged wide by the square leg umpire. Umpire Partha Patanaik of the opinion that that one was sailing away over the top. And I think even though this camera replay is from straight down the wicket, so it's a little bit harder to tell. In fact, here you will be able to tell. And so he ducks. He's definitely ducking, but I still think that's maybe 7 feet in the air. Forced off the back foot. This is going to be in the gap. A lot of work to do by deep third. He's not going to be able to get there. That is a really well-played shot by Akarshit Gomel. Just off the back foot, running it off the face. Not really an expansive cut. More guiding it through that backward point area. Deep third was entirely too wide to be able to get to it. And so another precious boundary. Look at this. Just another 26 runs needed with 32 balls remaining. What an absolutely brilliant fight back here by the Xforia Giants. Partnership now worth 95. Full, driven through the covers. This will be at least 2. And they come back jogging for the second one, Harmeet Singh. And this is really good batting. Last ball coming up in Zia-ul Haq's over. And he's already gone, and for his spell. So he's all the way up to 27 runs, which is not expensive, but he has not taken any wickets. Your strike bowler hasn't contributed anything in the wickets column. And if the strike bowler doesn't take wickets, one wonders what chance the others have. Around the wicket to the left or to the right-hander, played off the back foot down to deep third. Do they come back for 2? They do come back for 2, and they'll get there easily. What another brilliant over. 12 runs coming from that over, and with that 12 runs, that brings the required rate all the way down to 4.4. 99-run partnership in progress. Excellent batting by the Xforia Giants. We'll be right back. 140 for 2 is the score.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Welcome back to the Grand Prairie Cricket Field. Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium, my apologies. This is more than a field. Again, I reiterate, if you all have not been here, please, minor league cricket matches cost you nothing to attend, and the stadium is wide open. Come watch high-level cricket. Again, many of the same players that you'd have seen playing in Major League Cricket in July right here in the stadium. And this is the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. Lakshmi is the official partner of Minor League. Brew is MILC's Cricket for the Community partner. And Dolphin Media is the outdoor partner. Going back to the strike bowlers, Hasib Azam coming back on. Harmeet Singh looking to work this away in the onside. That was more, I think, an aspirational appeal than a serious one because that's bouncing for me well over the top. No signal there given by, or no indication given by the umpire. But yeah, oh yeah, it's actually a lot closer than I would have thought. But it was just maybe above the knee roll. So I'm thinking that's bouncing over the top. That's a good delivery to start. You need wickets here. You definitely need wickets if you are the Chicago Kingsmen. So that's why you've gone back to your horse. That is cut away to Paswal off of the boundary. So just a single. And boy, a flurry of runs. The last 5 overs have produced 6 to 8 runs. This is absolutely amazing going by the Xforia Giants. And remember, they still have 8 wickets in hand. So much of the heavy lifting has been done. You're only needing to score from here at the rate of 4.5 and over to win. And so you have to take wickets if you're the Kingsmen. If you just allow singles to be scored, then this game ends in somewhere around the 18th or 19th over. So I think you're going to see a much more attacking field. In fact, Saad Ali coming in off the boundary now into backward square leg position inside the 30-yard circle. And there are 3 fielders outside, make that 4 fielders outside. Looking to help this around the corner. My goodness. Had any bat been on that delivery, it would have raced away down to fine leg for 4. But that actually came off of the pad of the batter. Akarshik Gomel now up to 75. Outside chance that he can get to 100. It would be amazing if he would, but I think his priority now is not that. It's certainly going to be, oh, look at this, lofted into the air, but catchable and taken. So the hard work has been done. You ask yourself the question, could he possibly have stuck around since you only need 4.5 runs and over? He chooses to try to end it in a couple of strokes and perishes. That's a good, well-judged catch taken at wide, long on. So here we see on the replay, slanting in, goes for the big hit, dragging it. I said long on, that's more mid-wicket, and it's taken chest high, make that head high. It's a decent catch. And so a wicket goes down. The next wicket, Paswal, who has been in amongst the action. The young man has had 2 catches and fielded several deliveries. So you hear the applause for Akarshik Gomel. He did much of the heavy lifting. I believe that he did enough to get his team into a winning position, but obviously you would have wanted to finish that. But you now still have Harmeet Singh, 40 from 29, and this is going to be Ramiz Raja, who is also a heavy hitter. So you would think that there are enough resources for the Xforia Giants to finish this game. But there is a reason why you don't just concede. You play it through, as they say in track, you run through the tape. And I'm going to imagine that you have just another 21 balls to go and another 26 or 21 runs to go, another 26 balls to face. I'm going to think that you're not going to see Ramiz Raja take the safe route. He's a very aggressive batter. And in fact, you see now Saad Ali dropping back to the boundary at deep fine leg. Paswal is in about 10 yards off of the boundary at square leg. But Ramiz Raja, I don't think is going to be looking for 1s and 2s. Very aggressive naturally. Let's see how he handles the bowling. Oh, half-hearted appeal, but it's going to run behind fine of deep third, and they'll come back for 2. Watch umpire Partha Patanaik here. Nope, it came off the inside edge of the bat, so it was runs. And so now the deficit is under 20. It's 19, need 19 from 25. Required rate 4.56, so well under control there, and just 3 wickets down. So once again, if you had a win predictor, we don't have that sort of technology. Maybe that can be next year's budget, but the win predictor for me is still in favor of the Xforia Giants. Down the leg side, it's going to be another wide. Extra ball, extra run. Only 3 big 3 big Harmeet Singh strikes or Ramiz Raja strikes between the Xforia Giants and victory. So this game has absolutely been transformed in the last several overs. Here's Hasib Azam again. Good ball. Goes past the outside edge. That's a good delivery to close things out in over number 16. 4 remaining. 24 balls. They need another 18 runs.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
This feels in many ways like the final roll of the dice if you are the Chicago Kingsmen. Hassan Khan, who has been the best bowler, I think, so far in terms of impact. Even though Hasib Azam has taken 2 wickets, 2 for 7, Hassan Khan is the bowler, I think, apologies, who's most likely to take a wicket. Starts out here, delivering one, firing it down the leg side, swept away, or attempted sweep by Harmeet Singh, goes for a leg by. So 11 fours and 7 sixes in the innings. Believe it or not, almost 60% of the runs in the Xforia Giants innings have been scored with by 4s and 6s. Looking to sweep this around the corner. Loves that sweep shot, Ramiz Raja. Not able to make contact here, and just a half-hearted appeal. But 4 delivers remaining in the day for Hassan Khan. Advancing down the track. There's the aggression that I was looking for from Ramiz Raja. Meeting this 1.5 volley and blasting it over extra cover. That is a good-looking strike, a confident strike. Look at him advance down the track. Here he come. Here's a replay there. And staying leg side to access the offside, easily hammering it over the top of extra for 4. And the scoop shot. Oh, it goes. Oh, my goodness. I want to see that again. Ramiz Raja, maybe a little too cute by half, looking to scoop that over his shoulder. And look at the anticipation from Fawad Alam on this replay. Watch Fawad Alam, who is at slip. You will see him immediately start running to a short fine leg position because he saw exactly what was coming. And you'll see the replay here. Look at this. Look at Fawad Alam, who's a slip. Look at there. He actually started moving before the ball was released. That is brilliant. And let's just say he probably knows him well. That is amazing. Applause to the captain. He knew exactly what Ramiz Raja was going to do, read him like a book, and Ramiz Raja played right into his hands. So after a brilliant strike over extra cover for 4, Ramiz Raja probably tries to get just a little too cute, and he is dismissed. 6 from 5 balls faced. That's the end of his day with the bat. And another wobble. So just another 13 runs to go. And the batter is now going to be that's going to be so Udaybir Singh Walia, the U21 player, has 1 ball, make that 2 balls remaining now after this delivery. And I suspect that you're not going to see a scoop shot from the young 21-year-old. This should be, according to my calculations, the last delivery. Oh, appeal for LBW and given. So he did not play the scoop shot, but he basically misses a straight one. Umpire Samir Bandekar taking a little bit of time, but in the end, raising the finger. So I said at the beginning of this over, it felt like a final roll of the dice. Well, it was a successful roll of the dice because only 5 runs score in over number 17 and 2 wickets are down. So, Harmeet Singh is still at the non-striker's end. Here we see the replay coming up. Hassan Khan getting this one. Speared in, striking him on the toe. Looks like in the middle of middle and leg. You may have an argument if you wanted to say that that ball might have been shaving the outside of leg stump. But for umpire Samir Bandekar, who is a really good umpire, he thinks that that would have done enough to hit the stumps. So that's the end of over number 17. 13 runs required from the last 18 balls. The score is 149 for 5. Three overs remaining. 13 more runs to get if you are the Xforia Giants. And the Kingsmen have gone back to their number 2 bowler to hopefully, in his last over, as far as they're concerned, take a wicket. He's 2 for 7 from his 3 overs bowled. I don't know that Harmeet Singh would be very adventurous here. I think he just wants to make sure that he's still there at the end. Hasib Azam will have other thoughts. That's well played through backward point. In fact, there's a fielder right there at backward point to make sure that that gap stopped. Hassan Khan is that fielder, just making sure that everything remains where it needs to be. So a dot ball, a precious commodity. In the context of this game, I think you want to have Hasib Azam bowl as miserly an over as possible. And if he picks up a couple wickets, that's an even bigger bonus if you're the Kingsmen. It's driven into the deep. They will not come back for 2 rather. Just 1 into the deep mid-wicket area. So the deficit is now 12. And that does bring to the wicket Jaskaran Singh Buttar, who is the opening fast bowler. He can hit big. I've seen him hit big before. I don't know that hitting big is what's required here. There's that conversation between him and Harmeet Singh, and I'm thinking it says something like, give me a single. You don't need any big hitting here. And in fact, I think you sense that they've wanted to stop exactly that, because that is Ikra Faruqi, who's now come into that short mid-wicket position, looking to take away that single. Their number 1 priority right now is to keep Jaskaran Singh Buttar on strike. So they're looking to stop 1. Let's see if Hasib Azam can help effectuate that. Looks for the scoop shot, and it's a catch, but what did it come off of? Oh, look at that. Now that's fired down towards the leg side, or it gets all the way down to long on. That almost hits the non-striker, but eventually what they did not want to have happen is exactly what did happen, because they get a leg by. I don't think they'll care how that single came. It comes via a leg by. Looking for a scoop shot. So that, I'm thinking that wasn't on the bingo card. And he was looking to scoop it over his shoulder. Unfortunately for the Kingsmen, they thought it came off of the glove or the bat. It didn't. And in the sort of ruckus that took place, they were able to steal a leg by. So Harmeet Singh back on strike. Down the ground, that's going to be 1. And that's all they'll get. So, looking at this previous delivery, now look at this. Tries a scoop shot. Nobody would have seen this coming. It came off his shoulder is what it looks like. Appealed for a catch, wanted to claim it. Harmeet Singh just walking back and almost loses his head with that throw, but it does go by. And they get that leg by. So 2 balls remaining. A bit of activity, a flurry of activity, but 2 balls remaining here now over number 18. Good Yorker. That's stroked into the outfield for a single. 4 runs from the over already. So no wickets have yet fallen. 4 runs from the over. You only need another 9. So you have one delivery remaining. If you are Hasib Azam, you have to strain every sinew to do what you can to come up with the best delivery that you have in your arsenal. And if you dismiss Harmeet Singh here, game on. If you don't dismiss Harmeet Singh here, then you don't know what can happen. Here's the last delivery of the over. Harmeet Singh looks for the big swing. I'll tell you what, they'll take this result. That is the best result that could have happened because it's a single to close things out in over number 18. But more importantly, Harmeet Singh is on strike to start over number 19. You have 2 overs remaining, and you only have 8 runs to get. This game is coming down to the wire, but it feels from here that it's the Xforia Giants by a nose. We'll be right back.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
We are at the back end, the business end of this match. By the way, we didn't acknowledge the 150 when it came up. And Munir Majid, my apologies. Hopefully I didn't just jinx the Giants by saying that. 8 balls remaining, or 8 runs remaining, and another 12 balls in which to get them. Ravi Bopara coming on to bowl his last over. Was very expensive in his 3rd over, and he's bowling to Harmeet Singh. Let's see how this goes. This really does feel like a roll of the dice. Full, driven down the ground for 6. 1 stroke brings the Xforia Giants to within 2 runs of victory. A floated up full toss that sails over the top of everybody at straight for 6. Well, that's probably not what Ravi Bopara had in mind when he decided to bowl, or what Fawad Alam had in mind when he decided to have Ravi Bopara bowl. Is this the last ball of the match? Stroked into that extra cover area. No, Fawad Alam is right there, no run. But boy, they've come all the way to the cusp of victory. And by the way, Harmeet Singh is now on 49, so he can simultaneously get to 50 and win the match for his side with 1 stroke. Lofted down the ground, coming toward us. That is the end of the game. Harmeet Singh simultaneously gets to 50 and takes his side home. Victory by 8 wickets. What a tremendous match, and a match that we thought would be very close coming down to the end. In the end, Harmeet Singh and Akarshit Gomel running away with victory. Here we see the last ball strokes down the ground. Harmeet Singh, again, I mentioned he's a power-packed player, and he hits the ball a long way. So dragging this one a lot wider, but in the end, a pretty straightforward victory. So 166, I said 8 wickets, my apologies. Final margin of victory is 5 wickets as the Dallas Xforia Giants take it into the 19th over, ultimately winning pretty straightforward fashion. So, full look at the scorecard. The Xforia Giants, to whatever extent they could, I thought batted well in the middle. No question that partnership from Akarshit Gomel and Harmeet Singh is what won them the match. Only one other player in double figures, that was Chaitanya Bishnal with 10, but much of the heavy lifting done by Harmeet Singh and Akarshit Gomel. Udaybir Singh Walia stuck around for 2 deliveries. Ramiz Raja got outfoxed by Fawad Alam, but Jaskar and Singh Buttar at the end making sure to stay with his captain and taking them home by pretty straightforward margin. And now, looking at the bowling. The bowling, I thought, started out well. Ziaul Haq, 4 overs, none for 29. Hasib Azam, 4 overs, 2 for 11. Hassan Khan took 3 wickets but was a little expensive. 30 runs from his 4 overs. Tajinder Singh, 29 from his 2. And then Ravi Bopara getting a little bit of stick. 3.3 overs, none for 46. Fawad Alam doing well enough, but I think he gave up too many runs from what he wanted to look for. So 1 over for Fawad Alam, and that goes for 15. Pretty straightforward victory in the end. The Chicago Kingsmen, again, coming in top of the table, but they get taken here by the number 6 team in the division, but that number 6 team is playing at home. The Dallas Xforia Giants defend their home turf. A very interesting match, a makeup match again. This match is a match that should have been played over the weekend, but due to the rain conditions, it was rescheduled for today. But you saw an exciting match. Happy to have been here to bring you the action. Join us again on Friday night. There's more minor league cricket action here Friday night, and then we'll be playing matches on Saturday and on Sunday, all from the fabulous Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. So there's your summary. Chicago Kingsmen going down in a heap to the Dallas Xforia Giants. Victory taken by the Giants by 5 wickets. Signing off for the moment from the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. Join us Friday night when we'll bring you another exciting match. For now, this is Brian Walters. Good night and good luck. Next delivery, short, hammered away for 4. Smith Patel plays that shot, tells me full and straight is what they'll be bowling like. And that's lofted in the air, catchable, and gone. Big wicket. So a plan comes to fruition, bringing deep third to start his second over, bowling to Chaitanya Bishnoi. Yorker, that is a great delivery. Uh-oh, look at this. Oh, my goodness. Almost suicide point. Was ready to disturb the stumps, but luckily for Chaitanya Bishnoi, he just made it back in time. Whipped away in the deep for 4. So down on one knee, that angle, left arm over. And this new bowler is going to be Tajinder Singh. Oh, that did not go where Akashit Gomel was trying to play it. He may get 4 for it on Chaitanya Bishnoi. Lofted down the ground over the top of that fielder at mid-off. So good shot by Akashit Gomel is his second boundary. So Akashit Gomel, 1 fortuitous boundary in this over so far, and then 1 well struck. 10 from 14 back on strike. Quicker delivery in the air, catchable, the simplest of decisions, simplest of dismissals that you'll see. And so if you keep it around that 9, maybe up even as much as that 10, this is lofted in the deep. Work for Abhimanyu Paswal to do and not going to be able to get there. Bounce all remaining 111 runs at the same time. And that's in the gap. That's going to be 4 more. That's well played. So you'll get bad balls to cash in on. So if you are rooting for the Dallas Xforia Giants, not one of the primary bowlers, Fawad Alam, so looking to change things. This is lofted in the air, and this is going to carry all the way over the fence. And I think so that's something to pay attention to. So a little bit of a game within the game, as I said. Short and launched into the deep. That might hit the scoreboard rather. In fact, it is out of the stadium. What last ball? Down the ground, straight, and 6. Effortless strike. Absolute. Oh, going deep, but that's going to be in the gap and goes for 4. So here it goes again. In the air, and that's going to go for 6. Oh, he hammers this one. My goodness, that these two are starting to push through. In fact, he did toss it up, and that's why I didn't think he would toss it up, because we have another lost ball situation. This is on a mission. There he goes into the deep, and that's going to be in the stands. First, next delivery, quicker through the air, and that's hammered over extra cover. 1 bounce, 4. My good. Lofted straight down the ground, at least 2, and it goes for 4. Oh, the runs are flowing now. Down the ground again, that's going to be 4 more. An expensive over, 22 runs. Not that, it's certainly going to be, oh, look at this, lofted into the air, but catchable and taken. So the hard work. Advancing down the track. There's the aggression that I was looking for from Ramiz Raja. Meeting this 1.5 volley. To my calculations, the last delivery. Oh, appeal for LBW and given. So he did not play the scoop shot. Bazam can help effectuate that. Looks for the scoop shot, and it's a catch, but what did it come off of? This really does feel like a roll of the dice. Full, driven down the ground for 6. 1 stroke brings the Xforia Giants. Lofted down the ground, coming toward us. That is the end of the game. Harmeet Singh simultaneously